Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and welcome to Season 2 of our campaign of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, a diceless game by Jason Durall about powerful reality-hopping beings and a spiritual successor to the Amber Diceless Roleplaying game. We made it! We made it back! Finally! I am ridiculously excited about this. We're going to go ahead and go around and do our intros. I'm playing Dorian, ridiculous sorcerer type, he/him, and go around and say hi. You tell us who you are and who you're playing, and we will start once again with Noctua. Hello.
Hello, I'm Noctua. Today I will be playing Dame Laudine, who uses she/her pronouns. Laudine is a knight in shining armor, and perhaps more.
Excellent. And now we will head over to Mary. Hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I am playing Atropo/Kore, whose pronouns are also she, her, and she is the Harbinger.
Excellent. And now we will head over to Melissa. Hello.
Hi, my name is Melissa Gay. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Scythe, whose pronouns are she, they, and she is a rogue with a dark past that has come into goodness with this group of people. And lest I talk more.
And finally over to Trooper. Hello.
Hi, I am TrooperSJP, and I'm so sorry that you're not seeing my captions. Google Meets and I are not being friends right now. There was a whole thing over lunch, and it's not talking to me, and you know how it is. But I am here to be playing Merlin Wicht, who is a botanist, and only a botanist, and I wouldn't worry about anything else, because just a botanist.
Yes.
Who likes to find rare plants.
Excellent.
Plain, simple Merdine.
Yes, plain, simple Merdine. Well, before we hand things over to our GM, you may see us use safety tools from time to time. Like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or hold up a card and make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it, or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We are also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. Just a few content warnings. This game may contain references to betrayal, deceit, graphic combat, and violence. It may also have the potential for PvP action depending on the player's choices. In this case, PvP being defined as kindness and incredible acts of kindness.
We will make each other cry if that's the last thing we do.
Yes.
Which we have done before and may yet do again.
It has happened. So if you want to, I'm going to go ahead and put in chat here, exclamation point LG, LGSCW. I think that was it. Yes, LGSCW is the chat command. If you're watching live on Twitch and you want to see the content warning pop up, but I've gone ahead and set that to show up regularly on rotation. Let's see. Finally, please remember we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. And so now, finally, without further ado, I shall very gladly hand things over to our GM, Brian. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brian. My pronouns are he, him. Welcome to our tech rehearsal. We have been working out some bugs. So,
Yes. Many bugs.
And we'll almost certainly continue to do so. All right. So last time, when we, okay, for anyone just joining us, this is our second campaign. The entire first campaign is up on YouTube. And for those of you watching now, we can throw a link into the chat. There's a whole playlist on Jim's channel and a bunch of other good videos out there too, FYI. So if you would like to get caught up with what's happening here, you can watch all of those because I think they're awesome. Anyway, so when we began the first campaign, what I did was I started with a scene with everyone together. So now I'm actually going to do the opposite, and we're going to go around and do individual scenes to see where everyone is now after a certain amount of time has passed since the last campaign. One of the things about this setting is you can travel to different worlds. Your character can be in different places, and time can run at a different speed in any of those places, which means that actually any amount of time can have passed for all of you, and almost certainly a different amount of time has passed for each of you, depending on what you've been up to. Now, I do. We talked about this a little bit before we started, and so I know that some of you have been in contact with each other since then for various things. So you can bring that up. You can basically what I'm going to ask you to do is I would just like I'll go around and I'd like a scene or if just a description, however you want to do it, for what is happening right now, and if you wish to inform us through that what you have been up to, that's fine too. And I think I'm gonna start with Dorian on this one.
Yes, clearly.
And again, as much or little detail as you want, just to get an idea. And again, you don't have to go through everything, but if you would like to present us with an idea of what's happening now.
Publicly, Dorian has remains a socialite, both on the grand stair that links one reality to another, that links all the realities together. Well, maybe not all of them, but he has been attending stair parties. He's also been once again attending parties and public functions at his home world of Malvor, which is basically like 1910s ish. He's in a section that is very much like a country that is very much like the UK in that era, except there is magic, and the walls between Malvor and some other worlds is a little thin, and he has so the number of them use magic over there. He has so that's on the public side of things. Also, he's been going to a number of other worlds, including Earth, from time to time, hopping between like Paris and New York. But he is also in places unseen. He has been doing other things. I will say though, yes, publicly he has joined an auto club that started up, and the folks are interested in vintage cars. Yes, the auto club. We have no vintage cars. They're very interested in cars from a lot of different realities.
I have to provide scare quotes. That's the
it's just they like cars. Cars are a relatively recent invention in his home world, but there is still enough of them about that there are different models, and people, they have races and things like that, and they have little parades. It's very exciting. And so, it's a fairly small club, the auto club, but it's going well. Behind the scenes, he's doing other stuff. But who knows what he could be doing? It's perhaps been thrown around a little bit that he's gone back to his title of Grand Magister, for his home government. But what that title entails and what it means is not really that well known for to outsiders. But occasionally, private meetings will happen, and he will wander out to other places or talk to other people, wander out. A lot of traveling. A lot of people do traveling. A lot of people in the auto club do traveling, strangely. Fascinating. Anyway, I guess that's most of what would be seen. He has basically also gone. So I think, again, we saw at the end last time, he's going to try to start having conversations again with someone he hasn't had conversations with in a while. And he's also helping his friends when they require help. And he wants to make sure at the moment that one in particular is going to be doing all right because he's dashingly fond of them. I don't know. I think I could keep rambling, but I feel as though that pretty much covers a very basic 30,000 foot.
Sure,
Look
and that's
at
good
things.
because we've got an idea, and I have a feeling what's going to happen is people are going to start looping in like with what they may have been doing with each other as well. Which means, speaking of doing things with other people, I think Scythe might have been involved with any or all of you at some point. So,
Who, me? I'm
yeah,
just trying to keep busy.
yes.
No, what happened at the end of the last game was that Scythe, who is from a deeply Machiavellian family of traders across worlds who were definitely deeply entangled in the horrible conspiracy that we just had to put an end to that may have involved Dwimmer Lake of the last game. She ended up getting into contact with her sister, one of her sisters, her least odious sister, the sister that she hates the least. And in doing so, she kind of agreed to teach her sister about the Grand Stair. Because so Scythe may have, upon leaving her family, taken their access to world travel by stealing their stupid key that she doesn't really need, but she keeps because her family doesn't deserve to have it. Only now, she may have, this sister, Oleander, I said I'd teach it to her, so I did. But now I'm busy being horribly conflicted about it. And a lot of feelings are being churned up. I really want, because of this group of people, I have a family, a family that actually cares about each other and likes each other. I really want to bring my sister into this, but at the same time, I don't trust her at all because of family dynamics and generational trauma. So she's been burying her feelings, Scythe has, by getting involved in all her other friends' espionage stuff. Want me to spy on some people? Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to do that. So, been doing a lot of that, and secretly, I think Scythe has been attempting to gain mastery of the Grand Stair just to keep ahead of her sister.
A motivation as old as time. Sounds good. Yeah. Let's see. In that case, I think maybe we need to check in on Laudine next.
So Laudine has two main goals for this time period. She has an obligation to herself and to the Grand Stair to keep it safe. And she's not convinced that there our collective efforts on Tamsin put an end to the larger potential conspiracy behind it. So she's been working with Drake to address some of these. So, we'll all see a snapshot of Laudine like standing up in the stirrups upon a steed with her sword pointed forward as she's directing troops towards some imaginary bad guy over a battlefield. Because that's what she does. So she's been doing a considerable amount of that, slightly more politically than she had before, because she has a motivation now that this is a threat and I can't be as lax about it as I had been previously. So yeah, she's definitely playing to her strengths here. She's kind of she's shifted her focus just a little bit from being a frontline fighter, which she excels at, into more of the strategy of directing troops. Who needs to go where? How do I best delegate what to which part?
Gotcha.
And it's kind of a step up for her. Like, she knows she can hit bad guy with sword. That's not the challenge. It is, okay, who can I trust to hit bad guy with sword while I'm over here doing something else?
Right.
So that's part of this. And Ladine, in her downtime, is going to request Dorian's assistance for something. She wants his help to build a room in the castle in Albion, her personal domain, that she can use as a laboratory slash workshop. She's been to Malvor a couple times and is really impressed by things like light bulbs and, tame lightning in a bottle. So much better than candles. So if Dorian's amenable, she's going to ask him to help her set up a space where she can study things to a greater degree. Yeah. So she's been looking at her sword in a lot greater depth,
Right.
and she's learned a lot about its properties, how it works, and gotten to know it a little better. We'll see how that plays out.
Excellent. All right. Looking forward to seeing how that works out. And where Laudine goes, Merthine is not far behind. So let's check in on him.
Well, Merthine is a bit of a hermit, as it were, and he's always found in his home world, which is a little refuge, which includes mostly just him and plants, until we have the sequoia, which are giant living and moving trees who are now also in his home space. So, he chats with them, he does a little bit of studying. It's what you would expect from someone like Merthine. But actually, there are, I suppose, some things that you would not expect. He has been knighted, the last time, at the end of the last season. And if you're going to be knighted, then you have to get better at knightly things. He's never been that great at them. And, there are quite a few knightly things that he has been quite poor at. But chess playing and writing of poetry are part of the knightly skills. And so he's been working on that. He's been working on getting better at riding horses, but then he doesn't really like that so much. But he's tried. So he's been working on his knightly skills because, after all, you have to be able to dance and do poetry and chess. The chess and the poetry he likes much better than the riding and the swimming and the archery and, the fencing. He was really bad at fencing the last time. So, but he's been working on his knightly skills as he's been knighted. Favoring some more than others, I think you understand. And, he's been doing that. He's been more present over in Avalon, in Laudine's domain, her world, because as a knight you should be present and, try to do the right things. He's been what's the word? Oh, yes, subtly. I think subtle is the word that one would always use to describe Levine. He has been subtly watching Lordine to see how she bows and curtsies and all that sort of thing, and has been practicing in the background, also doing because apparently there's like a social aspect. You have to talk to other people at night in a social sort of a way, and he's less good at that than he could be, so he's been trying to work on the social graces. He hangs out in a forest most of the time, so social graces are not as good as they could be, so he's been just secretly, he's quite obvious, he's not that subtle really, but in his mind he's somewhat subtle, practicing graces, social graces, like watching Lordine, and then also watching he's got a lot of people who are much better at social graces than he, and he's been sort of watching them and trying to be, you do this with your hand, apparently, all right, then. But that's not all, really. He's also been a bit more present on the Grand Stair. He's always on the Grand Stair. He likes to commune with the Grand Stair, but usually also alone. But this time he's been to 2 whole parties on the Grand, 2 of them. He went to 2 of them. He did not stay long, and he spent most of the time near the punch bowl. But he was there, trying to be social, thinking about it. Well, he was in a social setting, and he thought about it, speaking to other people, and he said hello. He practiced, but twice. That said, he also has asked Scythe for some news, gave Scythe the travel coordinates to his and Lordine's home world, which neither Lordine nor he have been back to for quite some time. And he thought that maybe to help protect Lordine, he might get Scythe to just go over there, check out how it's been, and get back to him with just how it is, because before we go to visit, maybe a little bit of advanced information about how is it going on the homeworld would be nice. He's waiting to hear back from Scythe about that. He's asked Dorian for advice on things. Nothing that no one needs to worry about what those things are. They're not important. I wouldn't think about it. He's been asking Atropos in quite a bit of detail about her home world. Like, what was it like before it was destroyed? What does it look like? And really want to get a good picture of it. Probably because he wants to do something nice. You know how he is, but he's not saying, because you can't guess that he's going to do something nice, because he's very subtle. And then, of course, just asking Lordine about how he's been a lot more social than normal, trying to get out and about. And I suppose the last thing I'd say is, he's been worried about the people from Tamsin that they captured, and just wanted to see what the Grand Lords and ladies have done about that. And, for no reason, really, just no reason at all, he's just taken to spending time in the gardens of the Grand Stair. The more remote, there's a remote garden. He has his own garden at his own domain, but, just for no reason that anyone should ever be concerned about. He's just, just taken into, just he goes, visits this one garden, he goes, sits there with a book to sit and read for some hours. Somewhat regularly, he just goes and he sits at this one garden for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
Gotcha, and thank you. And there's a reason I saved Atropos for last. I'm not even sure how to ask the question, so I'm just going to let you talk. You tell us what you think we need to know.
Got it.
Because for those of you that did watch the first campaign, we ended with a large question about Mary's character. So
Yes, that question being, Atropos had her other half, Kore, had made a deal with Bastiano, one of the Gossamer lords, in a bet to try and save her world, or at least pause whatever problem was occurring. At least that is what Atropos understands. That basically to divide her power set into 2. Atropos, what the group knew, was just one side of it. And the clock was always ticking until that deal was done. Well, the group found a very savvy way to try and find a magical loophole, that being drain the clock. And luckily, with the wonderful world hopping daggers TM, we were able to drain the clock to just about the right time until they could make a few preparations, and in a very Doctor Who style event, Atropos regenerated, and we ended before we could see the outcome of what that happened. So to give a little glimpse of that, there was a new person standing before you. You've never seen her before. She strangely looked like Atropos, except that her, what Atropos had long raven black hair now is mostly auburn with little streaks of black throughout. She looks an awful lot like Atropos. Similar hand gestures, the smirk, and looking at, as always, she's up to something. But her eyes are more of a bright emerald green now. They have a almost like gold flecks in them, and you can see them. They are not covered up by the blind justice that Atropos had always had. She is wearing her raven crown that now has nature imagery woven throughout, leaves, different animal skulls. All of it are throughout this crown, with the black veil cascading behind. Her dress now is more of a green color, mixing green, black, some blue at times, almost cycling through as time goes on. But at the bottom, it pools in this black, almost flowy like fabric, probably like an organza, that kind where it can just look like almost like a cloud sitting on the ground. She very much has a different air to Atropos. There's more confidence, and the pain behind Atropos' eyes, they aren't there. There is a new wholeness to whoever is standing in front of you. And this is the first time you all got to meet Corey.
Does she remember us?
She would have greeted you almost in the way of when you see a character at Disney and you've seen that character in a movie and they seem very real right in front of you, but it's in the kind of familiarity as though she has not experienced it but watched it.
I see.
And so my question, and this is something we don't
yes.
necessarily have to answer right now, and this is for everyone, is that did happen literally at the end of the last campaign. So that was the thing that happened right after all of the other stuff. Meaning all of you have now had some time to adjust in whatever manner you do to this situation. So like I said, if you have any ideas right now, that's great. If not, we'll figure it out as we play. But I think a big question about this campaign is going to be what are the interactions between Corey now and all of you, and and Corey's world, which is, if I remember right, Mary, it is rebuilding.
It's rejuvenating.
Yeah. Okay. So, but because all of you witnessed this on Corey's world, you saw that process begin. Each of you has different methods of figuring out what's going on, but each of you can obviously figure out what's going on. The interesting thing here is, though, each of you is looking at it from a different angle, which I like, because different parts of it are going to jump out to whatever your most prominent perceptions are. And you can decide what that is too. But right now, one thing that is, I think, great for us is because it is in the early stages of rejuvenating, we all get to decide what that means. I feel like Mary mostly gets to decide what that means. But I also, if I recall correctly, I think Corey was I know Corey was planning to ask for at least one of the other characters for some assistance, right?
Yes, Corey definitely is looking for assistance.
Yeah.
Many ways. Help in basically she would have explained that early on that the world was just paused mid-destruction, so hopefully they could figure out a way, whoever she would meet, whoever Atropos could bring in to help build this place back up. What's strange is almost as like that pause does the magic is fully like rescinded off of things. It looks like a giant battle has occurred in this place. Like there are structures that are fallen over that did not look like that before. The surroundings definitely look like they have had better days, and that something big happened here. Corey has no memory of what happened, only that she was sent to go get help, and that is how Bastiano happened. But the big things that she's looking for is, one, help on figuring out what the hell happened here, and also how to re-energize this world without basically burning it out too fast. It's been paused forever. She has no idea how Bastiano did it or what cost it would have on that world's magic itself. And she knows that with her abilities that it will become populated soon with what she has to do. And she needs to make sure it's supportive. So she's going to be reaching out to Laudine to see about defense structures and mechanisms, to Merdine of how do I make it so the ecosystem does not get ruined by the new things that will be coming here, to Dorian of hearing about if there are any attacks planned, as this world that was deemed basically destroyed now very much is not, and that can make it with what the world does. But she has been very, very cagey of what her world was. In the way of, Atropos trusted you, I don't know you yet, and once I do, I will fully share. But you can tell that she has a very strong sense of duty, and a much more self-control, which is why it is quite strange that she is an Umbra Master. Her self-control almost mimics more so of what you would expect out of someone that is trained in the Eidolon. Where Atropos had chaos and doing the craziest things, she is incredibly calculated. Corey is. And she would be asking Scythe if they could try and see if there's any knowledge about a certain artifact that she's looking for that might help her with her memories. It is a hourglass that has gold filigree, and she even would draw it out for Scythe. That it has a way of rewinding time, where you can live out what had previously happened. And it is not where she left it. And she's very concerned.
I'm on it.
But mainly everyday stuff, as she has been being back to where she is. She's been doing her duties of seeing ends of the world, and she's been collecting names. And when it is time, she will reread the names and allow them to transfer here. but they need somewhere to be transferred.
Is it possible that what is the name of the world now?
It was once known as the Fields of Twilight.
Is it still called that?
I think it is up in the air at this point. I
Okay.
think for now she is hoping that she can keep the Ashen Twilight of what it was for like everyone else visiting, like, or anyone that would know of it, to keep it at, oh, this is just a destroyed world, don't look over here, as long as she possibly can.
Nice.
Because
Okay.
once people find out, the wrong people find out,
Yeah, fair.
it's going to be a disaster.
Okay. Right. So right now, yeah, also, and that is an excellent point. I'm assuming you are making sure that any of your or any of Atropo's friends that you ask for help understand that you would like to keep this as low key as possible. Is that what's going on? Okay, gotcha.
That is partly where I think she would reach out to Dorian,
Sure.
basically with a very appreciative of his care for Atropo, but that both that it is something, and she would use this phrase a lot with Dorian, take it as you will, it's what she would have wanted.
I like that. And so to that end, I need to mention something to Scythe and Dorian. Both of you for a long time have been aware of each other's networks. Your respective spy networks or information networks or whatever you wish to call them are different from each other.
Clubs.
But clubs, but there is some overlap. And there always has been some overlap, which now that I think about it, might have been how you two found out about each other in the first place. But may or may not be. But the thing I want to point out is both of you are now aware that the other person's network is bigger than it used to be. Which in Side's case is saying something.
I'm just trying to avoid all my personal problems.
Yes, by finding out about everyone else's problem.
Yeah, it makes me feel better about my life.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that Murthine, who has historically spent quite a bit of time traveling to new places to find new plants, new flora and fauna, has begun revisiting worlds that he's been to before. He's never done that. He tends to want to find new things, but in this time period, he's started going back to worlds he's gone before and taking a lot more notes. So he's been revisiting previously visited worlds, and he's been very studious in this last time period, but his patterns have changed somewhat.
And okay, so also Murthine and Scythe. Murthine, you said you have been back to Avalon, but you have also asked Scythe to
No.
Oh,
he has not been back.
Okay,
just Scythe.
So,
he didn't want to go himself.
I get it.
Also didn't want Laudine to go. He didn't want either one of them to go without getting it. Like, what happens if he and Laudine were like, hey, let's go visit our old hometown, and when you get there, it's all rivers of blood? That would be super awkward. Like, he would want somebody like Scythe to let him know what it was like before they go to visit, because
that is an excellent point now that you mention it. Okay.
It's just like it's like a, can you give us a spoiler? Like, just give us, like, are there any trigger warnings on our home planet? Just let us know, and then I can, but you don't want to just show up and,
If I go there and get trapped in a crystal cave, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh.
Right.
I have a thing for that.
Oh, I bet you do. Okay, hang on. I am... Wow. You think I'd be better at typing than this? Sorry about that. I told you this was a tech rehearsal. All right. One moment.
While typing happens,
yes, please.
Laudine is going to ask Corey, while Laudine is visiting the Ashen Twilight during the rejuvenation efforts, while she's looking around at the destruction, trying to figure out what may have caused it, if Kore has any memories of what it was like before, and if she could describe that. Like, what does Kore remember the Ashen Twilight being?
She would show you. Kore uses the Umbra in a way of how nature is both chaos and order. She can basically create a little diorama in front of you that will like age and decay, but can show you what it previously looked like. It was fields of gold and of lilac and purple. It was alive. There were spirits everywhere. Plants that had gone extinct in other worlds were thriving, animal life, all of it. This was the place for lost things. And it was incredibly full of life. And you would notice like some of the spirits like slowly coming out as time has passed. But the plant life and animal life is where things are going to need a lot of help. As well as like building structures. There was one of the biggest parts, at least, of the Fields of Twilight was like there was this big center market where people could basically create the things from their home worlds and sell them, just to make sure these crafts were not forgotten. And she would very much take pride in that. It was her grandmother's biggest project when she was the bridge, was to create this marketplace, and that's something she would like to bring back eventually once they have the structures and protections in place. She'd love it to, because before she would definitely describe that the world wasn't locked off. People could come and go, and people could like learn about these destroyed worlds, but ever since that attack happened, it's just been locked down, and she doesn't necessarily know how to get back to the way it was because that wasn't safe either. So somewhere in the middle.
And slightly out of character to make sure I understand, Kore does not know the mechanism by which her planet was devastated. Was that right? It was attacked somehow, and it's kind of a question?
So the main thing is Kore would know. The day that the attack happened was when she was supposed to be transferred the powers from her grandmother. That is when the attack happened.
Sure.
It was supposed to happen during the middle of this ritual. The attack happened. Her family went to defend. They were basically losing, and that is when her grandmother, as last act of the bridge, transported her to Bastiano's realm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She knows it's some sort of entity that would cause problems for, because her family were basically very similar to like the player characters, and they were travelers of the Grand Stair. They all had different abilities of ways of remembering and collecting fallen worlds, where it was more shared. Like one person was, I go and collect the plants. I go and collect the wildlife. We all had a job. And that at least then whatever the entity or entities were, she thought her family were incredibly powerful, and it made it look like they were just simple puny humans. To the point that her grandmother was more willing to self-destruct the world than she was to let it fall into whatever grasp that entity was, or entities. She's very, that day is incredibly fuzzy. Most of those, she would describe that, at least from what she understood, when Bastiano split her up between her and Atropos carried the pain of those feelings. Kore carried some of the memories. And when things recombined, that's where things got fuzzy.
I will note that Myrthine, I don't know who all knows this, but Myrthine was approached by Atropos to help save as many things on that planet as possible. So Merdine was there on the planet as it was falling, and definitely saving as many things as possible. So he might have some insight into what the attackers were that Corey doesn't remember, because he was there after, like, right after, like, as soon as Atropos existed, right? He never met Corey before, but he met Atropos because Atropos came to him and was like, help me get these things off. And he went in and did as much as he could while everything was collapsing. So he might have some memory of that end point that Corey doesn't have.
Perfect.
That's really good to know. So Laudine is asking because she cannot tell you how to protect this world from an impending threat if she doesn't know what the threat is. So
Valid.
having more information about what happened can assist in, like, directing protection efforts towards, like, you need guardians versus you need secrecy versus you just need a, giant, like, no magic barrier. But whatever it is, it's going to depend on the threat. So I guess the question for Merdine is, what did you see on that day? Like, what actually happened?
I guess I would have to ask the player of Atropos and also our storyteller, because my understanding is that Atropos came to him and was like, I need help with this, and that all of that happened. Also that he this is something that we had talked about earlier, that Atropos and Merdine had traveled together quite often, actually. When there was when Atropos would discover a world that was dying, she would ask him to come along, and he would come in to save plants. So this may not have been public knowledge, but they had a very close relationship in that way, and had both shared seeing terrible things together for quite some time. But that's the long history of Atropos and Merdine. But I would have to ask, what was it that because he does still remember what happened, at least in that moment. I will also note that he was also very busy trying to save the Sequoia and as many flora and fauna as possible, not necessarily wanting to get attacked by whatever it was. So he was all over that planet trying to get as many names in the book as possible, right? And to as quickly as possible. So I'm going to turn this question back to the two experts on the Ashen Twilight about what he would have remembered from those. Like, I think we talked earlier, it's probably about like a couple of days of like madness of like everything is collapsing. It's like I don't know, like Star Wars, right? When you're like, oh, that planet's dying. Let's see, Star Trek, pardon me. That planet's dying. Let's see how much we can get as much as possible, right?
Sure. I am happy to fill in some gaps, but I think a lot of it's going to come from Mary, because I think first off, I bet you already know. So, so it just never came up in the game.
Like small amounts. It's not something I've focused on a lot, because I think
and it wasn't necessary, but obviously, for obvious reasons, I prefer to start with you. But if there's anything you would like me to throw in, I'm happy to.
Fantastic. I think one of the main things was that the barrier that Merdine would have noticed, the barrier, but basically that layer between the Grand Stair and her world was cracking. That basically, I think from Atropos and Merdine's perspective, it was like someone trying to literally crack an egg to get inside. And
question. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
This barrier that was cracking, was it a barrier that on the other side was the Grand Stair, or was it a barrier on the other side was not the Grand Stair?
Atropos wouldn't know. I think this is one I'd leave open to GM, where Merdine would know that because Atropos was how many hours old at this point? So
Merdine is the master of the Grand Stair and is
yeah, so you'd be able to tell. So wait, specifically, what was your question? I need to make sure I understand.
Well, the idea that this barrier was being cracked like an egg, somebody was trying to get in. The question is, were they the other side of that crack? Was that somebody trying to get in from the Grand Stair direction or from a non-grand stair direction. You
Right,
see what I'm saying?
because as we know, the grand stair is not the only way to travel between worlds.
That is correct.
So,
Because there's a big difference between if some really malevolent force is trying
Yeah.
to get in through the grand stair versus
Right.
not through the grand stair.
right, exactly, because there are, I mean, obviously, never mind. I was going to go into more detail than anyone needs. So let me try this again. To answer your question, the attack was in fact from the stair. However, it wasn't always assaulting doors. It was largely focused on doors, but it was as if someone was on the stair and was also maybe trying to get in through a wall, if that is a thing.
This might be far-fetched, but I would like to cast Detect Jelly and or Pepper.
Mm.
In Corey's world.
Also, how is Corey spelled? I need it for my notes or I'll die.
K-O-R, and then it's E with like the apostrophe on top.
Yeah,
I was close. Thank
I
you.
saw Ague.
Yes, by misspelling.
All right, so on Corey's world, you're trying to detect Jill. Okay, now the good news is with your sword, you have your sword leans towards jelly.
Maybe a word to the viewing public about what we mean by those.
It seems perfectly self-evident.
Would you like me to do it? All right. So during the course of the first campaign, the way this setting works is there are two poles. There's order and chaos, and those are the two big powers that operate within the worlds that all of the current player characters are familiar with. They discovered that there's another axis, and that axis they named Pepper and Jelly. And I didn't realize this until I rewatched it. This is Jim's fault, but I didn't.
Of course
remember
it is.
Yes, I didn't remember you were the one that came up with it, but it stuck immediately. There are actual names for it, which I think one of you might be able to find out, but right now it's Pepper and Jelly. And I don't know that there's only maybe one of you that actually looked into what they do, but you do know that you've met two practitioners. You've met Naida Kataris that was proficient in Pepper, and her twin brother, who was in fact the Jelly Master. So you do know that you have encountered two people. One of them, both of them pretty briefly, in person. But they were sort of the primary antagonists of the last campaign.
And the twin brother. No, they did not. They did not both get away. We have the twin brother, and we turned the twin brother over to the Gossamer Lords.
And that is something we need to discuss in just a moment too. But we'll get back to that. And because that is also a thing that that I know at least two of you were particularly interested in following up on. So we'll get back on that one. So anyway, we also discovered that Laudine's sword is there is a stone in it which is heavily linked towards the and I cannot wait till you guys actually learn the name so I can quit doing this. That is actually linked towards the jelly side of things. And just like you can have artifacts that are Umbra or Eidolon infused or related or tinged or whatever, this is definitely jelly. And to the extent that it really resists any sort of Pepper influence. So it's a sword. It doesn't have a whole lot of ambiguity. But all of which is to bring up that, yeah, Laudine has an actual artifact that is sensitive to that, which means you can use that to tell you. Interestingly, the way this would work, I think, is it would immediately tell you if anything is jelly related because it already resonates with that. But because of the way that it is, it doesn't like the pepper. It will also tell you if that's around by reacting to it in a completely different way. So you are. Are you simply just looking for, what are you looking for when you're casting this exactly? How are you looking for influences or actual like uh practitioners of it or what?
Uh, Influences, but I'm trying to get a sense from Corey's description and Murthine's description if there was either a jelly or a pepper influence of the entity that caused the
Okay.
devastation, and if there's remnants of that now.
Okay, so not a strong one on either end
Mhm.
during whatever the cataclysm was. In fact, you even though you are not particularly sensitive to either Eidolon or Umbra, you know, given your other abilities, you can, you know, you kind of know what's going on, and also you know some other people that could definitely figure it out. It was much more heavily a an Umbra situation
Ooh. Okay.
than it was, and uh, for similar reasons, actually, no, for completely different reasons. If either Scythe or Corey is looking into it from that angle, you can also tell that very strongly. It's you have to point your perceptions towards that, if you see what I mean. But at some point, you probably did. If you were asked, well, Corey shows up and she's like, I don't know what happened, and I can't imagine each one of you was like, oh, a mystery, and you're trying trying to figure it out. So for whatever reason, if you're trying to look back on that, then yeah, you've got uh, the last time you were here, everything was in such stasis that it was impossible to really determine anything. But now that things are progressing again, it definitely has it leans much more strongly towards Umbra than Eidolon.
Mhm. And we talked briefly about something attempting to enter the Ashen Twilight from the Grand Stair, potentially using Nata Stair. When we encountered this last season, it was all Pepper.
Yeah,
So
it was.
this is now just Umbra, not Pepper.
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay. Darn, I was kind of hoping for Pepper, but alas.
Was there, from Murthine's standpoint, was there any eyes? You know, okay. I don't know if you ever watched that movie Cloverfield, where for like the vast majority of it, you couldn't actually see the Godzilla because
Right.
there's skyscrapers in New York, which is why Cloverfield would not work in Los Angeles because, you know, it's a horizontal city, not a vertical one. In this destruction, was there ever eyes on whatever this thing was from Murthine's point of view?
Hmm.
Is this the thing that we need the hourglass for?
Yeah, you're gonna have to find a way to. Yeah, that's gonna. Okay.
Because I think Corey needs the
Yeah.
hourglass, but did Murthine see something?
Yeah.
Which I bet he would not have said anything to anybody because I bet whatever it was pretty awful. With Murthine it could either go either way. Either it never occurred to him to say something about it because that is also how he can be sometimes, or
That's fair.
he is very much that kind of like he might be like, oh. Like nobody asked, he didn't think to say, but there was a person with 14 heads bleeding blood out of
Right.
tentacles that was there. I just didn't mention it, you know, but
Actually, no, the Cloverfield reference is pretty accurate because whatever it was didn't happen. It it happened kind of far away, is what it was.
yeah.
But you definitely witnessed the after effects, and the after effect happened basically milliseconds after whatever it did, and that was like, I think the best analogy was it was almost like someone just took a picture, and everything got frozen in that moment in time. Which is, by the way, all of you that have been there know that that's not accurate. It made time move so slowly it looked frozen, but by anyone's perceptions, It did look like everything just got literally and actually the taking a picture is a pretty good analogy because everything got really washed out with bright light too. It just yeah, it's like everything got turned into like a big silver print photograph.
And then I'm going to have to assume that it was started to decay rapidly because there was the rush to try to get as many names and as many with the Sequoia there being so you can't get a generic name, but you have to get the actual ones out, right? So there would have been like a rush to get as many things out before it
absolutely
turned to dust.
I have a
in some kind of terrible way.
Long shot thing to offer to help with that. If Merdine, well, that's the thing. We don't know how much sharing is happening.
It's up to you. Yeah.
Merdine, the thing about this is that Merdine, again, does not always share, not because he's hiding, because he's not very good at that, but because it doesn't always occur to him to bring up random things.
Yeah.
Many things are random for him. And I think
that's true.
I mean, he has too much information in his head, And I think that one of the things is that with it being Kore, not Atropos, that changes some stuff, right? That changes some things. And I think that he would not be particularly forthcoming about these memories unless somebody directly thinks to ask him. But I don't think many people know that they should ask him is the problem, right? He seems a bit preoccupied, you know what I mean? Like, and he's doing what Kore asks of him in terms of helping to get things repopulated and all that. But yeah.
There may be a way to analyze that image, but it will just depend on how and if the opportunity arises that Dorian finds out that you have that image in your head. And so it's just a question of like whenever that comes about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really complicated thing since he was there, right, at the destruction of this world. Kore was not, Atropos was, he was. Atropos not here, he's here, but again, that's
the other thing. Yeah, Dorian also has excruciatingly complicated feelings about because he was at ground zero when well, I say ground zero when the change happened. So he has particular feelings that he also probably shows no signs of and hasn't been talking about.
I just need to say that there might be a lot of traumatized people in this group. We're very wholesome, but there may be a lot of trauma hanging out underneath that people neglect to talk about or have forgotten about.
These things are not mutually exclusive.
Slip their minds.
So we need a group therapy session is what I'm hearing.
No, we're fine. What?
Everything's
Clearly.
fine.
We're all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Never happy.
Yeah, you're as stable as every character in the pit. You're doing fine.
Yeah.
That's so much.
So basically there was, he comes in after the big main attack. So he's seeing the effects, but not the being. Things are collapsing. So he has a sense he can talk about like in the disaster movies, right? Like he can tell you what all of that part looked like, right? As the, things are collapsing and all that. But he probably could not tell you. He might have gotten secondhand reports, you know what I mean? Like in a, big kind of a way. But I imagine he was also really focused on as much flora and fauna as possible before it all went away.
Yeah.
Nice.
Question. Just a question. After everything collapses, what did it look like? Was it all barren and ruins? I want to know how bad the destruction left this place.
So I think this is where the weirdness happens. Because the way you saw it is different than what Atropos saw, I think.
Yeah.
Atropos saw it because of Bastiano fuckery as,
Yeah.
oh, the world is just frozen in place. There's nothing
Oh.
wrong here. If you do what I ask, we'll fix
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You saw it looks more of like what it looks like today now that Corey is back, where like buildings destroyed, the plant life decimated.
Yeah.
The self-destruct button did go off.
Yeah. Oh, Bastiano, you're such a good friend of mine. I don't like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean the opposite of that. But also Atropos and Corey, like Corey was given different visions than Atropos was, right? Like Corey was like, it's fine. But did Atropos know how destroyed it was? Corey clearly didn't.
Corey was left before it happened.
Yeah.
Atropos was there seeing the destruction, but not in the same way.
Right. Ooh, Bastiano. Oh, Bastiano.
So like
Sorry.
Corey coming here, like when she first like made it out of the castle, because somehow the castle is pristine, because that was the only place there was color in.
Right, but that castle was no longer on your world, right? It was somehow in Bastiano had like a...
No, there was the castle on her world. That was like that crystalline place.
Yeah. That was the place all of you met at the end.
Yeah.
That was all, for some reason, that whatever magical power protected that place. For whatever reason.
In fact, that was the place all of you, that was the place you used to go to Tamsin.
Yeah.
That's what we drained, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
But so that was completely whole. Everything else destroyed, basically.
Idly questioning. What do we need to find out from Bastiano?
Just I think we just need to murder him. I think that's just I think that's just what it is.
Oh, that's gonna be trickier.
Good luck with that, but
It's a long-term project.
If we need to know something, I was just curious, but you know.
I mean, the biggest thing we don't know is Corey remembers some of the deal. She does not remember all of the deal.
Oh, excellent. Okay, yes.
So what the actual parameters were, like she knows the core pieces, but not like the teeny tiny writing at the very bottom. That's
Well, he had to tell you a certain amount so you could do the whatever job he was having you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But also that was Atropos versus Corey, right?
In it.
Yeah.
No, there was a part Corey had to do as well.
Oh yeah. Well, Corey's the one that had to agree to it in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's interesting. You're absolutely right. Each of you has a different part of it.
Nightmare.
I need to ask you a question, Brian.
All righty, go ahead.
Is my attorney allowed to talk to me again?
Oh, definitely.
Excellent. So, is there any chance of getting a hold of the contract through legal means? If not, we can work around that. But I'm just
your attorney explains to you that you're using the wrong adjective, but yes, it is possible to get his hands on the contract.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Her name is Rin.
Sorry. Hang on. How do you spell that?
Yeah. Okay. So Rin Arvola. WRYNN, or it's Rin for short.
I got it.
Sunderleigh. SUNDERLEIGH.
Got it. Thank you. So, Rin explains that, yes, she can definitely get her hands on it. Legal has so many definitions, but yes, I can do it.
Do we, would you advise that, or would you prefer for it to just suddenly fall in your lap on this occasion with the potential for possibly other parties to have a little bit of danger?
It depends on what exactly we want to do with it.
Ah.
If we want to go through channels, I will need to have acquired it legitimately.
See, ultimately, we may need to go through channels. Right now, we're just looking for the information on it. But
I'll start the paperwork.
so if
I
that
like her.
if that works out, then yes, that should I think be all right.
Standard payment then.
Of course. Is there this? Of course. We assume this is not traceable to a particular entity necessarily. Is that?
It's why you hired me.
Yeah. And I am greatly appreciative of that. So yeah. Okay.
Tell Wilkins he still owes me 13 pounds. And she leaves.
Oh, that is so unlike Wilkins. I shall let him know him with great glee and reckless abandon.
So yes, now you've got Rin working on that, and you have every reason to
Excellent.
believe she will, in some manner, show up with the proper contract.
Okay. Yeah. If anyone asks, and Dorian will probably only mention this if anyone asks, but if someone eventually asks, he'll say, "Oh yeah, we're working on it."
Yeah.
Working on getting hold of the contract.
Not a problem. Anyone else have anything right now? If not, I got more questions.
Well, I think
oh.
I'm doing projects. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
Buddy?
So, one kind of side adventure, because all of this has been very focused on what's happened to the Ashen Twilight, and a lot of this has taken place either immediately following our season 1 finale or like in a very short time span after that. I would like to kind of smash cut to a little bit later when we have a little bit more levity, because like Merdeen's mentioned, he went to social events, and like Dorian's got his auto club. I would like to imagine that Scythe and Ladine find themselves back in Tortuga.
Wait, not
Oh.
Sorry.
It was the first place, right?
Do what?
Yeah, hang on. I got to get the name.
Are we talking about Celex, or are we talking about?
Thank you. I'm assuming the place where you were, the place we started the game last time.
Yes, where there was the ball and Scythe was
Celex.
in the
Celex is the world. Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you, Jim.
Getting all the names mixed up.
Me too.
To go look at the market, because there were interesting things that Scythe found there that we never saw before because we got too wrapped up in plot. So on the girls' day off, they're going to the market in Celex just to see. Kind of just because Ladine can never stop being just a little bit cynical about things. She's going to keep an eye out for influences of essentially Pepper or like Tamsin, to see what their actions at the end of the first season did to Celex. Like,
yeah, because that was definitely a thing at the time. You're absolutely right. You know that was happening. All right. So do we want to do that real quick? The two of you are in. Just remember, you're in town, right? You're looking like back in. Well, both of you were poking around in town at one point, but now you're doing it together.
Yes, we are.
All right. So what? First off, what are you wearing? And what are you pretending to do, if anything, while you're doing this?
Ladine, what are you wearing?
Plate mail.
Why did I even ask?
It's on the action figure. Yeah.
Yes. She can hardly be the knight in shining armor without the shining armor part. Like,
This is true. I guess I mean I could be mistaken for your squire at this point
Yeah.
because I'm wearing nice clothes, but it's basically just, a pantsuit of the appropriate time
Okay.
and milieu. So
Yeah, you fit in with the general crowd, right?
right,
Okay.
the vibe.
Although now that I think about it, we have an extra question for the shapeshifter. What do you look like? Do you look like just how you look, or have
No,
you
I
done
just
something?
look like how I look.
Yeah, you'd like
I-
your base scythe form. Okay.
I only use my powers for extremely important things or extremely frivolous things, and this is decidedly in between those.
This is neither. I got you. Okay. So scythe, you have because once again, the Umbra has provided you with a pocket full of local currency. So if you are in fact doing shopping while you're here, you have what you need to buy things.
Definitely.
But what are the two of you looking? No, that's not the right question. What questions are you trying to answer on this return?
Is the influence of the pepper still as prevalent on Celix as it was before?
It is not.
Okay.
Hey.
Does it feel like it's reached an equilibrium between Eidolon and Umbra?
Oh.
This is more for Scythe. Ladine can't tell.
Yeah, that's true, but you could ask your friend. Let's see.
See, I feel like I'm watching out for her while she's sensing pepper
Yeah.
/ jelly, and she can look out for me while I'm sensing Umbra / Eidolon.
That is brilliant. And man, you are the two people to look out for each other. Nothing, so
That's how we started this mess.
it really is. Yeah. So now that I think about it, yeah, nothing's getting through that. Nothing on this world. So hang on. Yeah, so as far as Umbra Eidolon goes, it is tilted slightly towards Eidolon.
Okay, that's probably a good thing.
You get the sense that is where it would normally be.
Okay.
And you think that early on, some of the Umbra influence was getting heavier than it was tilting more towards Umbra back when you guys were here before.
Because it was being destroyed by pepper, basically.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So do we, I mean, probably not if that all of those things are the case, but do we find any more of those blue rocks in the marketplace?
Not openly, but if you dig, then the black market has some.
Oh, are you kidding me? We'd still pepper rocks in
not a lot. I mean, it's a handful because this is actually because you basically discovered the off-world stuff black market before. Yeah, but you can still find that. You're still finding like the weird metals that you found before. But also, yeah, you do find a non-zero number of those blue stones.
Wait, are these the pepper rocks or are these jellies? I'm getting confused.
These are pepper.
These are pepper.
And wait, the metal was jelly, is that right? Or
No, the metal was unrelated, to be honest. But
okay. I say, okay, yes, it's concerning that they're still here. That means they might have a supply from somewhere. But like, if it were up to me, I say we just buy all the blue rocks that remain and get the hell out.
We can. That's actually not.
You definitely can. Yeah.
Because if they can no longer supply the pepper rocks, and this is the last of their supply, then we can just remove it from this world and leave them to their business.
If you buy all of them, or at least what you believe to be all of them, you can come back later and see if any more show up.
That's
so 100%. But yeah, you have the means. I mean, honestly, you could steal them if you wanted to, but you have the means to just buy them. Oh, and buying them, if you want to do it this way, it makes you a person of it makes you a known person to the black market now if you're buying from them.
Is that
Oh,
something you
sure.
want to be?
Your call.
I think that it's possible if there is still a pipeline into Salix and they know that I'm interested in them, they might actually get in contact with me
That's good.
if more come in.
Because you do know, well, you know two things. First off, you do know that at least the nobility and the royalty of Salix are aware of other worlds. They know the doors exist, and they know that they it's not super common, but it happens often enough that they aren't shocked when someone from another world shows up.
Right.
In fact,
Like
if
that
you recall,
perfectly average prince.
right? Yeah, just what was his name? Yeah. So the yeah. Ooh. In fact, if you recall, there is in fact a capital D door in the Duke's palace.
Right.
So that is a thing. However, you also know that this place has like you can leave word here with oh, never mind. You have agents here. Duh. You can leave word here with any of your agents to let you know if anyone is trying to get in touch with whatever name you gave them for purposes of Blue Rocks. So even if they are not able to reach out to another world, which they probably can't, you don't get the sense that the black market here, the black market knows about other worlds and they receive things from them, but they mostly deal with people that show up here. You don't get the sense that they are sending people out to get stuff. Meaning
Fair
they
enough.
probably wouldn't be able to contact you if you were off world, but you've got people here that can contact you if they try to get in touch with you, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
So
Not a problem.
the answer is you can absolutely put out feelers, and if more Blue Rocks show up, you will know pretty quickly.
I mean, strictly speaking, I should be making this purchase through my agents, but it's boring to do that, and sometimes I just want to dip my toe in.
Fair enough. What that means is that they understand, even without knowing like who you are, the way that you're doing it gives them the sense that like someone up the chain has showed up to make the purchase. They get the sense that like that a VIP came in to do it, and also the fact that you bought so much, that's a thing, because that almost never happens. So you've made a splash.
About that so much. How many rocks are we talking about here? Are we talking pockets full or barrels full?
No, it is 4.
Oh, hooray!
Can I keep
give
one?
2 to Claudine.
Yay! I am going to dissect this rock.
Whoa, interesting.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll get back to you on that one because I'm gonna. You have your brand new lab that Dorian helped you with.
Yes.
You can use it for that.
Yep, that's what for.
Here, you can have mine too. I don't have a lab.
We're gonna have a party in the lab. And we're gonna dissect the rock and see what happens.
Oh wow. All right, we are getting close to a good time to take a break. Do we want to do that now and then come back and I will pester you with more questions? We good?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me. All right. We're going to dive off for a little bit, and then we will return, and perhaps more things will happen. We will see you shortly.
Thank you.
We have returned.
Hello.
Hello.
So having returned, I have questions, but does anyone else have anything that they want to do or talk about before I start throwing more questions out? Alrighty. So I feel like I know at least two of you, and maybe more, are like Merdine specifically. You said that you were interested in what was continuing to go on with the twins. So that would
basically
be,
like we pass somebody over to the lords, the Gossamer lords, high lords, I guess, because I guess we also sort of count in some ways.
all of you.
And, like,
No, yeah, you're all
but when you pass, you want to keep up with the news, like, because this was like a massive threat, a big deal, right? And we sort of pass it over to some people who are a little bit higher on the chain than we are, but you want to keep your ears out to find out.
All right, so that's a good point. I guess we should be a little more detailed about what that means, and then we can figure out what's happening from there. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Laudine probably led that. I feel it seems like Laudine was the one to basically take them to, well, not them, it was Cathar, because Naida had noped out. But as I recall, Cathar would continue to be unconscious the whole time, which made it a lot easier. So I feel like, I mean, all of you may have been involved in it, but I felt like Laudine was the one to sort of like take him in. Drake was already aware of the situation, and we had established that he was that you and he were in communication, and you had let him know what was going on, meaning that he was ready to hear from you in case they needed to do anything. Something I didn't get into that I was going to talk about now, or in this campaign, which is a good time to do it, there were related events that happened in a couple of worlds that are on the stair, because if you recall, the world you guys were in was not on the stair.
Yeah.
And but there were ripple effects that Drake, because you had warned him that this might happen, Drake and Lucian actually both were involved in handling things that, because all of you had made them aware of what was going on in general, and in fact, both Lucian and Drake, because they had that list of worlds, both of them did. You learned later when you get back that they were just watching those worlds, and Lucian was on one world and had his own adventure that probably would have been really cool to watch, in order to basically quell what started off as like a rebellion, but ended up having some magical stuff behind it that he and actually he and Cal got together to handle that one. Drake, on the other hand, basically just showed up and with overwhelming force put down a similar issue on another world, and it did not take long. So those were things that, because of what was going on there, things that the twins had set in motion over in the worlds that were on the stair were starting to have problems, and they helped stabilize those. So, all of which is to say, when you say turned him over to other Gossamer lords, which Gossamer lord or lords did you present Cathar to? That's the big question.
Ladin would have turned him over to Drake's custody. She, at this point, can trust Drake to handle having a captive with potentially unknown magical ability.
Yeah.
So she figures that this is probably the safer place. And yeah, as Trooper was saying, Ladin would check in periodically to kind of assess how Cathar has fared. Like, does he still have the pepper abilities once he's been divested of all the items on him? Like, is this a thing he does, or is it granted to him by an item?
It's more of a thing he is, yeah.
Okay.
Game.
And just how has Cathar handled himself? Like, does he say anything? If so, is it just like swearing mostly?
I mean, that's what I would do. So to answer your question, we can decide how long he has been in captivity later, but I feel like it might not have necessarily been as long as some of you have experienced. Because I think a lot of you have been, a lot of you have been running around in like other time zones, as it were. The answer to this question is going to be the same because, again, I know that Mervine was also paying attention to it. But, Mervine, I have other stuff for you but for another reason that I will get to. So I think a lot of Laudine's information is going to be reports from Drake.
Mhm.
And you do know that Drake has him. Do you want Drake to tell you where he is, or do you not want this information?
I do not want to know.
I didn't think so. All right.
Nope.
And Drake, by the way, presents it that way first. He asks you if you want to know because he wants to know how you want to compartmentalize the information. And when you say that, he does not reply with the words, "That was the right answer," but you can see it in his eyes. So I feel like you're getting reports directly from Drake. I don't think anyone else. He has agents that are responsible for maintaining whatever Gossamer jail they've got this guy in. But
That sounds so wrong.
it does. And however, I don't feel like Drake is letting anyone else tell you what's going on. So there's a whole list of reasons that he's doing that. Anyway, the answer you get is that he is accepting food and water, but he is otherwise has not said a word and mostly seems to spend his time meditating.
Okay. Okay. I am thinking, like I as a player have wheels spinning. You can see the smoke coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
Okay. In one of the communications, Ladine is going to warn that if she hasn't already, that Naida Kataris got away, and
Yeah, you probably would have mentioned that upon turning him over. Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning, and just to make sure that uh Qatar,
Cathar. Yeah.
the brother, is not communicating to her because there could be magic happening there.
There definitely could be, and they've got ways to look out for that.
Yeah.
They are certain. They are certain that the meditation is doing something, but they can't figure out what.
I don't trust that.
And Mervine, you have oh my gosh, and it's increased even more now. Holy crap. Okay, so Mervine, you just spent points on getting better at invocation, if I recall.
Yes, I now have advanced invocation.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
there
so
are two more levels of invocation above that.
Right, but you are better than you used to be.
Yes.
So here's the thing.
Which basically mechanically just means that I can do it faster because it takes like months to learn things, right? And so I can do it
largely it speeds it up. The other thing though that it does is it literally just makes you better at it. It's stronger. And what it does
it must be combined powers too.
Which is great. And because I can't wait to see what that does with the stare. But you also it strengthens any connection you had with previous names you've learned. and you already knew the true name of both twins.
I worked really hard to get that second name before we should have for the big end of last season.
So, because you had those names and you already had that connection to them, because you are never not going to be connected to them unless one of them dies.
Yeah.
Although
they don't know my true name.
They do not, but you've got that connection, which means that you already had that. You already had a sense of each of them as an entity.
Yeah.
And if you focus on it, you could do more with that. But now it's even stronger, which means of the two of you, you know exactly where he is.
Mm.
And here's the first time that I think we're going to see you combine that with the doors. Whether you meant to or not, at some point, if you were paying attention, because never mind, you told me you were focusing on the twins, meaning at some point,
including like if I could find out where she was, I would let Laudine know.
You don't know where she is right now, and
interesting.
Which means that wherever you know what? I may retract that. I'll get back to Naida in a minute. But with Cathar, literally all you had to do was put your hand on any door and concentrate, and you know what world he's on. So which means tells you two things. A, where he literally is, and B, the world he's in is in fact accessible by the stair.
I would be just checking if she has come through any of the doors, because she's been traveling through the stair, right? So just like a check if she's shown up.
She has not come through any of the doors. Yeah. She is, however, on a world accessible by the stair, but she has not come through any doors since you last encountered her.
I would let Laudine know where she is.
Which makes sense.
Because Laudine is the tactician and,
the question that this opens is, should we attempt to bring her into custody? Mm-hmm. Because if we know where she is, we are aware of what she's done. So we could attempt to go after her. I'm not sure if that's the wisest course of action right now.
Right. Are they more dangerous when they're together?
Yeah. And we have okay, I'm sorry, but Corey's kind of vulnerable right now, and we know that the Ashen Twilight is still in the process of rebuilding, and I do not want to bring Naida anywhere near that.
Yeah.
So we could go after Naida, but I think Laudine would prefer that we strengthen our own protections before we do that.
Would you like to have her followed?
Oh, actually, well, only if your agents understand the risk involved. She is quite dangerous.
I might be able to ask the Grand Stair to not let her back in from the world where she currently is.
Oh, then we probably won't be able to follow her.
Well, but I mean that she won't be able to leave that planet through the stairwell.
Best practical joke ever.
Oh, no, I just meant... Oh.
I thought she wasn't using the stairs, though. I thought you said she hasn't gone through any doors, that she's traveling.
Well, but she had. She used the staircase to get to Salix and a number of other places.
Yeah, you know she has. She just hasn't done it since since Atropos sent her to hell.
She's hanging out in that, she was sent to hell by Atropos, and she's hanging out on this one place. By the way, that planet, is it called New Jersey? This is my question. And then,
oh no!
Well, called New Jersey.
Is she still in her own personal Hades?
Merdine, you can answer that. She is not, but she's in a place you might consider next door to it.
No, she's next door, actually, to...
She's found... Okay. Yeah, you don't know by what means, Actually, you know that she didn't use the door to the stair to go to whatever this other world is, but you do know that she is not in the world that she was in upon her sort of self-banishment.
Interesting.
And
I share all of
know
this.
she's in a world that's immediately adjacent.
Yeah, it's still not a good place.
Hmm.
Okay.
And the question I have now is, Scythe,
Yes,
you have friends everywhere.
I do. Well, I have,
So,
associates everywhere.
even on hellscapes, in fact, maybe especially.
That's true.
Interesting.
That's true. The word ubiquitous means ubiquitous.
Yeah, ubiquitous is ubiquitous. All righty. So interesting. I'm interested to find out what form those agents take.
I'll detail that for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, yes, while I do have agents ubiquitous in shadow, of course, I am also directing my energies rather focusedly on a couple of other projects for my actual friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Checking in on hellscapes might be a bit more sporadic.
Yeah, you'd have to be asked directly to do so, and I don't think you have been, right? So,
No, I don't think I have.
all right.
Because I don't know where she is, actually.
No, you don't. Yeah. Oh, that's true. I guess, yeah, I don't know that anyone's told you. All right.
Also, I need to know, I guess, here's my question. Avalon. Is it a slow time shadow, if you will, in the parlance of the other game? Or is it somewhere that I can investigate quickly? Because that will determine, I guess, how often I'm around.
So my guess, and Trooper can contradict me here, is that time in Avalon moves slightly faster than it does on the rest of the stair. And Laudine has experienced a couple centuries already, and that's not being on her homeworld. So it has been a very long time since Laudine has been home, and subjectively even longer for the people who were on Avalon.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
So, here's the thing. I don't know. Merdine has asked me to look in. And I don't know if Laudine knows that I've been asked to look in.
She does not.
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right. So that's going to be a conversation and a half.
Fair. Okay.
And I just want to note for the record, Merdine is perfectly capable of going to Avalon himself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he knows the door. He had to tell you the door, as a matter of fact. But he just wanted you to go check rather than him, which I don't know how you feel about that. He's like, just could you check to see how things are going there?
Oh, I get it, man. Believe me.
Yeah, he's just like, it's quite busy.
Yeah. And she didn't come right back to tell you. So that might be a clue in and of itself.
Well, she's also quite busy. I mean, just because she's gone off doesn't mean that when she comes back, she might go to things.
She might have gotten distracted.
Yes, I mean, I get distracted all the time.
Sorry, Laudine is unaware of this. My bad.
No, the question is basically like, he's going to assume that she's going to show up again. And just because she shows up doesn't mean that she'll actually tell him something just yet, because, sometimes you have to have the right moment. So, he's keeping his eyes out. He also, by the way, put an alert. He put an alert, an APB, in the grand stair so that if Naida takes one of the doors, the stairwell will.
Absolutely. You will be the next to know.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Because he has her true name.
You probably know, in that case, when Scythe entered and when she left Avalon.
Yeah, if you were watching it.
Well, so she did leave, so we're fine. She hasn't shown up. She hasn't come. Well, I'm sure she's quite busy. She has a whole network of things.
One other question for Dorian.
Yes.
One of the other last things that got said during the first campaign was that your people are working on what you referred to as the Bastiano problem.
Yes.
Um, I will tell you, it's going well. A lot of information is being gathered, but is that the level that you're operating at right now? Is gathering, or are you doing anything more?
Currently, it is very passive.
Okay.
We have not started our night manager operation yet.
Okay.
If we do, we'll be sending in Agent O for that one.
Gotcha.
Provided she is able to keep a this is the thing we're testing for, and we're making sure she's good with this.
Yes.
We'll be able to keep a barrier between what she's doing and the people in her, we'll call it her family.
Yes, because that's what it is.
because you know, we want it to look like she's able to do things on behalf of her family, but we don't want an actual connection between her minimal at most between her family and Bastiano.
Are you making my sister part of your spy network?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that's what I thought. Great.
Question.
She's just joined the auto club, that's all.
Right. A question for Corey after this.
You found she likes cars.
Yes. Is the Ashen Twilight still accessible by the stair?
I guess that is big question.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I feel like one of the bad parts of the deal ending is now it's not under anybody's protection. So my guess is yes, it is accessible by the Grand Stair.
Okay, now I understand.
Meridian could take care of that for you.
Yeah. Now my feeling is that that access is highly restricted and it is difficult to find, but it is still technically accessible by the stair. Meaning, if someone just randomly showed up through the stair, it would be a big deal. Because, and you're absolutely right, Mervine. If you were either, I don't know, would Mervine take that on himself to make it even more restricted? Because you definitely could.
Only if asked.
Okay.
I feel like she would reach out in the most gentle way possible because she could feel the tension going on.
What tension? What?
I mean, she is pretty blind to most things, but this is a little palpable.
Yeah.
I think she would just like, if you have time, it would be like, you know, if you have, I don't want to impose on you. I'm already asking a lot. She would very much be the almost business-like about it, which is very uncomfortable for her, because she still has like the memories of that deep friendship.
Yeah.
But and like they're acting different than what I've seen. What's kind of a situation.
Yeah. Well, you know, what I could do, I could create a key to the door so that you can lock it, and without the key it would be inaccessible, if that would be something you are, you know, interested in.
Yes, actually, I think that would be rather wonderful, especially to make it just a little bit harder for things to come here. Not that I don't want eventually for that to happen. I just, you know, I don't think he's ready yet to welcome guests, if that makes sense.
Of course, and I will give you a key, and I will not keep a copy for myself, although technically I wouldn't be able to get in through anyway, because I could ask that. Not the point, though. I honor my, I am a knight. I'm a knight of the realm, and, one of the virtues, your chivalric honor and whatnot. So if I give you a key and you lock the door, I shall not go through without your previously given permission, unless, on the other hand, you are on the other side of the door screaming, in which case I suppose I would ask you if you would let me go through the door, but if you're screaming, you may not be able to answer. In which case...
I think that you are more than welcome to visit whenever you like. I just actually finished baking the wonderful lemon poppy seed bread, and I have tea available if you would. You've worked so hard here, and Atropos could never bake to save her life. It was
no
too many rules. Too many rules.
Yes, well, I would definitely take you up on that, but I do have, there's a world that I'd been to before, and I want to take some notes. But I will, tomorrow at this time, I will bring you the key, and make sure the door's locked so that no one could come in, baking. Yes, tomorrow I will just, yes.
Well, here, and she will conjure the lemon bread, just at least for your travels, sustenance. It's all should fit within your dietary requirements.
Thank you.
It's still warm.
Yes. I don't know what. Just I've reseeded the flowers that someone else liked for tea. I imagine you don't like the same ones, but from here. But I've reseeded them on the left, the western plains where they were once. I don't know really what you like to drink. So, but those are there.
I love tea. There's, it's very hard to come by, and she just continues to describe exactly the same tea that Atropos liked to drink. And I like just a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream, and it's just quite refreshing.
Yes, well, those plants, I was able to save them, and so I was able to record them, and I have replanted them where they once had thrived on this world once before, but so they are growing as we speak in that part of your world.
That is kind of you. I appreciate it.
It's what should be done. Well, thank you for this. I do love lemon, but I'm going to make your key. I should go back home to make the key. And once done, I will make sure this door is locked, and only those with the key may enter and come through.
Thank you.
Keep this somewhat safe.
Please travel safe, and I hope everything goes well.
Yes. You're dressed so very, sunnily.
Well, yes, it's a beautiful day. Might as well enjoy it and all the light that it brings.
Yes, I imagine so. That is
so
quite the sentiment. Well, don't throw your back out or anything like that when lifting things or moving things. Lift with your legs and don't bend, it's not to lift.
Yes, of course. I'm very, very careful. And you too.
Like how. And so I'm going to go and make that key.
Yes. Go right ahead.
I will do that. Yes. I'm just going to go out this door, and I'll make sure.
That is the exit. So
yes. Yes. Oh, well, all right then. And there's like a little bit of that, and then he just opens this door and walks out of existence, right, into this space. And there's a lot of like, he often looks at you like, he's having the uncanny, right? It just, but he will lock the door, shroud it, and give you the key. It doesn't take him very long at all. He can do that fairly quickly. And the key is a true name key, so only those only those whose true names match will be able to go through this door at all. Like so like if somebody stole the key from you, won't work.
Right.
It is keyed to your true name. So
I like that a lot. Okay.
Actually, I'm afraid I have to take that back. I don't know if I know your true name anymore.
It would be different than Atropos. That
It
is actually
would
one
be.
thing. It'd
Yep.
be very different than Atropos.
Okay, so it is not
Yep.
keyed to her true name, but you can still
Yes. Give her.
you can
yes.
still make sure that she's the only one that can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know your true name, and I have not asked.
Yes.
But I know it's not the same. Anyhow, good. I just gonna go do.
Yep.
I have a question for the party. After all of our adventures in season 1, I feel like Ludding's gotten to know all of y'all fairly well. She has a decent idea of both who the facade you present to the world and hints of who you might be behind that for all of you, except maybe Corey. So, I guess would all of you consider Claudine to be familiar with your minds, your brains? The term in question was a mental signature.
Fair. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think we've spent enough time together that for sure she would have be familiar with the ins and outs of even this Umbra Master's brain.
Yeah. Yeah. It might be slippery.
Yeah. But it's a scythe kind of slippery.
Yeah. I feel like Claudine would know Merlene pretty well. Just they have a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff going on with him is the best way to put it. He's having a complicated time. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
For the most
sorry.
part, yes, but it depends.
On whether you're feeling up to it at the moment.
As far as, well, if you'd be able to tell, like if he tries to contact you via an icon or something like that and tries to sort of, if he is giving signature.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If he's giving signature, then yes, you're going to get the signature he is giving that you are familiar with.
Sure.
The thing is that they're out of character. He may have more than one signature.
Ooh. This
Not like
keeps
it.
getting-
Not as in he's more than one person. He's one person, but there's bits and pieces that sometimes are more ascendant than others, and and he also is kind of trained to not give signatures sometimes. So
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually very interesting. Like that didn't occur to me initially, but now that you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So yeah, okay.
the labyrinth.
Yes.
It's actually sadly, oddly, and unfortunately, it might sometimes be like trying to pick up on and recognize Lucian. Ironically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that they have any similarity in their signatures, but it's...
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I just realized something. Okay, so here's a thing. Two things. The mental signature, the fact that you have been in icon communication with most of these people is going to help with that. But I don't think Atropo's icons work anymore, do they?
I leave that open.
That is
there's a lot we
fascinating
don't know
question.
right now.
I feel like they don't. I feel like it had to be drawn because the thing is the icons kind of use a similar essence in order to work, which means now the good news is Corey can still walk the worlds. Corey can still get in touch with people. Corey can ask people to make icons. So that's not a big deal. And you've had time to have done that.
Yeah.
You've had time to have gotten icons made. So that's not a big deal. But now, if any one of you has an icon, it's going to have to be one of the new ones. And if you've still got the ones of Atropo, okay, I got ideas for that. So we'll work on that one.
I still have the Atropo ones.
Yeah, I've still got the Atropo one.
Yeah, I'm not going to get rid of that one.
Okay, yeah, we'll that's probably going to come up. But the fact that, and you can all decide whether or not you've got one of the new ones from Corey, or more to the point, at this point, Corey, you would have had to have offered them, I think, because you starting over, you're the only one that's got them at the beginning. So, and we can decide that now or later, but
I definitely think it would have been like one of the first things.
Okay.
Because Corey is very type A. Very much. I have a procedure.
Yes, you are. Okay.
There is a way that she does. Everything is like if you would see how Corey like her room looks like versus what Atropo's, it's night and day. And she absolutely like second day would have been like, oh, I had someone make new icons. They'll be arriving. Where do I have it shipped to? Not really a question of if you want one. It's where is it going to be sent?
And now that I think about it, Atropo and Dale had a relationship, and at some point Dale will have approached you, like when you're out in another world. She wouldn't have come to Ash and Twilight, but when you're out in another world, Dale would have approached you as if she was just picking up on an earlier conversation with Atropo. And would have offered to make new icons. It's not like she instantly realizes you're a different person, but she doesn't treat you. She treats you as if you're just a transformation of the one she knew before. And she would have been the first one to have offered because of your earlier relationship. So if maybe all of yours were made by her because she was just like, oh, you're going to need new icons. And she comes in and does that.
Yeah, I definitely, she would absolutely accept that. Any semblance of a friend, Corey will leap on because she was so isolated before that now it's just like, friend, do you want to be my friend? I'll make you a pie. We can be friends.
The thing about Dale is she doesn't. Her people skills are not great, which in this case actually kind of works because she basically again, she recognizes that you are different, but she's not treating you like. She's treating you exactly like she treated Atropo. So, which is still maybe a little weird, but you know, I guess it's consistent. So there's that.
Ever so slightly odd of just I feel like it's like where when you answer the phone and they think you are like some relative that you are not. That is kind of what is going on. But she accepts it because at least it's warm and friendly. And so that's nice, at least.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so I feel like we've got roughly another half hour left. Is that what everyone else is seeing? Does that sound right? Okay. Just wanted to kind of get an idea. So right now, I feel like we've got a good sense of where everyone is and in general, where everyone is with relation to each other. But am I leaving any of that out? Is there anything any of you needs to address about the other characters right now that I haven't thought of? Yeah.
How long has it been since Scythe has come back and has not, you know, had a conversation yet about what's going on Myrthine and Laudine's home world? I'm just not that it meant, because, you know, again, forgetful professor, who knows how long time is. Just wondering, you know, how long has it been? Because I know that Scythe is not coughing right now or drinking, but just like really contemplating, you know, sharing intel.
Scythe is so good at not being avoidant of issues. So,
issues.
yeah, it's probably been long enough to make even Myrthine a little suspicious.
Noted. Okay, I just have to know for my own sense, have they seen each other since she's been back?
Oh, I think perhaps that well, actually, yes, because I would have checked in on Corey to give her some news of my efforts to find the hourglass. And I would have bumped into Myrthine. Oh, hi. Yeah. Hope you're doing great. I gotta go over here to talk about this very important issue with the hourglass. And
yes, of course.
Not your thing.
What? All right. Well, I'm sure talking to Corey is very important. I'm sure. Yes. Oh, well, I suppose I'll go. It's awkward. You know, just, you know, talking to Corey is very important. Yes.
Okay. No, look,
no, it's fine. I was just to the door. It's fine. It's all right.
No. I'm sorry. Listen. So, typically, in a situation like this,
like what?
I would talk to Laudine as the kind of rational, logical, military-minded person. But now I'm talking to you, I guess.
Well, I don't even know what to say about that, really. I mean, I like to think of myself as quite rational. Yes. I'm a knight now. Yeah, so
that's true. That's true. You are a knight now.
Knight of Avalon, I assume. And well, there's probably a little bit of legal situation about authority and all that business, but not the point. I don't know that I'm a knight of them at the moment. But anyhow, I don't want to interrupt you if you have business with Corey to do.
You know, I don't know much about being a knight, but, you know, my family had retainers and stuff. And one of the things that I always thought that retainers and knights probably have in common is needing to be able to prioritize tasks. That's very important, especially on, you know, knightly duties.
Yes.
Especially when those duties might... overlap, perhaps. What I'm getting at, you remember that thing you used to say about Laudine and Avalon?
That she is the once and future king, and that she should take her responsibility and go back, and I mean that she's amazing, and that she is the best ever, and would be the best ruler of our home, and that I imagine that everyone dreams of her, and that she's the best person you could ever imagine. And it is my honor at such a deep level to even have known her my entire life. Did you know that she saved me from bullies when I was quite young?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
she did.
Quite sweet.
Yes.
Okay, look, listen. If I tell you this, I'm worried that it's going to sort of derail everything we're doing. But I don't know. Maybe the time has come to derail. Look, I'm just going to tell you.
All right.
Avalon is not doing great.
Oh, is there like some sort of like, drought?
Well, there's a drought of freedom, I suppose you could say. Look, there's a horrible, horrible tyrant on the throne currently, and I'm afraid, from my tactical perspective, that if they don't get some help soon, then they are really screwed.
Oh,
The Avalon, not the tyrant.
oh,
Tyrant's doing fine.
oh. Well, oh, I see. Well, well, I suppose that's good to know. I wouldn't have wanted to just stop by for a pop in to say hello, and then wouldn't want. We should tell Lordine. We don't want her to go and not know. What if she decided to visit without knowing that there was a time? How long?
Definitely worried about our next move.
How long has the tyrant been? Is this tyrant like? Are they old and about to die, or they? Is it?
They seem to be thriving, sadly.
Oh, oh, oh. Well, would you say it's a dire situation? Would you say it's dire?
I would say, from, again, a tactical perspective, I would say things are bad. Things are bad.
Then I shall have to tell Dame Lordine. I will do so. I want to thank you so much for letting me know. I will make your favorite tea. Will you let me tell Dame Lordine? Oh.
Yeah, we lost her. Hang on. I froze up for a minute too, so yeah, we just had a hiccup in our connection.
I would.
We'll let her get back on.
Yes, I would take that as a yes. And I think that, like, there's this, like, very sort of complex set of feelings clearly happening with Murdine when it comes to this information.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Of course. No. I mean, I just thought it was avoidance. I thought that perhaps Scythe was like, now I just told you, now I have to leave.
I see.
Do you mind if I tell Dame Lordine?
The timing was actually pretty funny.
I think we're going to have to.
No, I meant, I think she should hear it from me.
Oh.
Would be pleased if you stood by my side, but I think that the words should come from me.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
That seems appropriate.
All right. Well, whenever you have time.
I'm just going to make myself available on your schedule. How about that?
Well, then we should go now. Unless, well, you have the conversation with about the hourglass. I suppose I could wait some.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm going to go to Dame Lordine's recreation of Avalon, her world, and you've been there many a time. And when you're finished with this conversation, please do arrive.
Yes, that sounds good.
Thank you for looking.
You're welcome.
I do so hate surprises. And he will sort of like step to like this door right in the crystalline palace and sort of open it up and walk into the grand stair.
Oh, nice. Well, that's how I wanted my afternoon to go. So, Corey.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna
Corey
lean
would
on
be
your
like,
hourglass.
in here. As like she's in the kitchen, there are little birds tweeting in the corner.
Oh.
It is full Disney princess in here, going
That's
on.
not my Atropos. What
is
is this
not.
Disney princess? I had a goth friend and now like she's just gone all normie. I don't know what to do.
She's a perky goth now.
Aw.
But she'll say, here, please sit. I was reading a book on Celix, and I tried to make, and she tried to make, whether they're very good or not is entirely up to you, of like some little treat, like very uncommon from Celix. She's trying to win everyone's hearts through the food, apparently.
I mean,
so
it's gonna work. I'm just like thrilled to be cooked for. This is
okay. I'm so glad you like them. And you were talking about the hourglass, as it were.
Yes. Right. So I think okay, it's being talked about in the criminal underworld. That to me is usually a bad sign. Usually means that someone powerful thinks that they've found a powerful artifact and is I don't know, having a bidding war with some other criminal. But the good news is we are in it. We are in it to win it. And, well, we're going to get your hourglass.
Whatever I can help with, I'd be happy to. I'm not, but I haven't really tried to be sneaky before. But I could try. And if you need any help, I heard of that minor, not very minor inconvenience in Avalon. If there's anything I can do to help,
you know what? I think that it might be fun if you come to Laudine's Shadow Avalon to look at the cool rocks we brought back from Celix. I hear she's going to dissect one.
Oh, yes. Let me. And she like almost as though she prepared to go just in case. Has like a little like tray of like I would say not so much a tray as like it's like a layered like cloche of little cakes and treats to go. She puts on like a little shawl and is when are we going now? Are we going later?
So I think I just got to I think I'm going to access my spy network to tell Dorian to come to Avalon.
I hadn't thought of that as a communication tool before, but I really like it. But because both of you are so wired in, that I love that.
I'll have your spy talk to my spy, and we'll do lunch.
Exactly.
Also, I love the fact that like neither of you is doing it directly.
Nah, but what fun is that?
I knew you'd miss the flag. It was one of those.
Exactly.
It's funny.
So, how does Dorian respond to this by heading over to Albion as well?
Albion,
Yeah.
not Avalon. Sorry.
Well, no, it is.
It is a shadow
It
of
is based
Avalon.
on. Yeah, exactly. So.
So I did this on purpose, and I'm sorry it's confusing. Avalon is the actual home world, with the
Right.
tyrant and the dire situation, and
Right.
Albion is Ladine's shadow.
Good deal.
And the names are similar on purpose.
Understandably.
I get it. It's just shadow has other meanings for me also outside of. Not only do they have other meanings in this game,
Yeah.
but it has other meanings outside of this game, and also specific to Avalon. Anyway,
Same.
I have to jump in my head. I have to do a couple of jumps in my head real quick to make that work. Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll happily head over to Albion.
Okay, so I guess as folks arrive in Albion, so certainly Merzine and Dorian, you know where to find Ludine. She's in the laboratory area dissecting a rock. Scythe and Kore, when you arrive, normally you arrive through a door that Merdine helped create, and it's actually part of a living tree a little ways away from the castle. So you like step out of a tree and like cross a little field to the castle itself. When the two of you arrive, you come face to face with an enormous dragon. And Corey, you just get a face full of nostrils. Because Albion is guarded, and Corey has not been here before.
Oh,
and no one told Ladine that you were bringing Corey.
Nope. No one did.
Would anyone like to tell Ladine that they are bringing Corey before she gets eaten by a dragon?
Aww.
Yes.
As being just like stared down by the dragonfish, she was like, "Hello, friend. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Kore. I'm a friend of Dame Lardine. Would you like?" And she pulls out like this little like treat that is probably entirely too small for a dragon, but it is like a little animal treat that she just keeps on hand.
This is adorable. I don't think the dragon's gonna eat it though. He's on duty.
That's fair.
He's a very good boy.
Yes, he is.
Do we have like means of communication with each other? Like I forget if we have like
you have Ladine's
icons.
icons. Yeah. Yes, we do have icons. All right, yes. I'll tell Lottie. Hey, guess what? I brought Corey. So there's a dragon.
You get the response of, what? Yeah. What a surprise. Yes, sorry about that. And a little while later for the, communication loop, and the dragon kind of backs away, looks at you, eats the treat, and then meanders off.
She'll like bow to it, giving reverence, and we'll continue.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was the cutest thing I've seen all day.
The dragon was supposed to be scary, y'all.
Yeah, but eating the treat, that was cute.
Yeah. So Scythe, you would know where to find Ladine, and she's in essentially like a sub-basement of the castle that Dorian has helped wire up with proper light bulbs. And it looks kind of like a mad scientist laboratory in there. Ladine is dissecting a rock.
Oh my goodness. What's the tech level of Albion?
It is medieval, except for this one room.
Is like, do you have control of the content so you can change the? Okay, I ask because it's like Dorian could make it work, but the spell would be a lot more difficult to work out if you don't have direct ability to change it. He can do it either way, but if you want light bulbs, you will get light bulbs. But it's just it's an interesting little question.
Yeah, I can control the contents. So.
Yeah. And actually, he has understanding of how to make magical light bulbs to an extent. So it's, you can kind of, because that's actually kind of where some of the science in Malvor is sort of has magic behind it somewhat. So that's kind of a thing. Yeah, no, that works.
Yeah. Very cool. So, as you guys all come in, you see Laudine, not in her plate mail because she's at home, and she's kind of got like a jeweler's glass, one of the one eye like high magnification doohickeys, and she's holding up a rock, going, "Listen to this. This is fascinating." And she like bonks the rock with Fonta's like her sword. It's dagger size, and she just like it goes ding.
Yeah.
Pepper means jelly.
Get another 7 of those, you'll have an entire bar.
And Ladine's like, "Well, welcome. I'm afraid I don't have very much to report just yet. I did want all of you to take a closer look at this." Holds up Pepper Rock.
So all of you, and the good news is Corey still has Atropo's memories. So all of you definitely directly experienced the use of Pepper, which is the spatial power that the people were using to stab you from the world next door.
I hated that.
Yeah, you hated that. You probably hated it even like more than anyone else.
I got stabbed more than anyone else.
Yeah, and poisoned. Let's not forget.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, all of you recognize. This is after the fact, of course, but all of you recognize this as, especially interestingly, you might not recognize it until Laudine like taps it with the knife and it kind of resonates. But you recognize it as containing the power that was used for them to do that to you.
Correct, Dorian. I didn't. Oh, well, more people than I thought. Dame Laudine.
It felt like we needed moral support.
Oh.
Yes. Puts down the Pepper Rock.
Dame Laudine. You know that there is much to the world. In all the worlds, actually, things that are mysterious and that go against logic and order and reason. Or mysterious things become their own logic and reason, I imagine. There are plants that when one imbibes them or takes in their vapors, allows you to see through time and space. And really, actually, there are quite a few plants that are actually quite interesting that in the history of prophecy, they have been used by seers. For example, there is I'm distracting myself. What I meant to say...
Speaking of prophecy.
Yes. Dame Laudine. There's a prophecy, you see. I told you about it at one point in time, at least parts of it, that one who wields the sword, the important and special sword, Khaled Wulch, is the prophesied one to be the great and true liege of Avalon. I told you, you never believed me, but I did tell you. Yes. Well, there's more to that.
Said.
But there's more to that prophecy, you see. That's not just all of it, there's more. All sorts of bits to that prophecy, you see. one of the bits of the prophecy is that the great and true liege, the one who was destined, the protector of the land, they're false leaders, you see, but the true leader, the true leader would fall asleep under a great mountain, sort of like this one, I would imagine. Sort of actually funny. This is a sort of mountain keep and all. But that when the people of Avalon were in its most dire need, then the true liege would return to protect them, unite them, you see. And there's actually, it's interesting because actually if you think about it, there's this, we call this the king under the mountain. It's a sort of a messianic or prophecy trope that it has been this sort of particular sort of idea has been noted in many different worlds from many different places. Actually, you could this idea that there's a true liege who is asleep under a mountain who they think is dead, but actually, you know, if you could imagine, I would imagine that there is on our home on Avalon a tomb for you. I would imagine they would have made it, but if they broke into that tomb, you would not be there, you see, because you would be missing from that tomb. And you know, when you think about this, so the missing tomb, the true liege sleeping under the mountain, and you see, there's the in its dire need.
I've already acknowledged that you were correct about the sword, and I've taken your advice to heart. I've learned so much about the sword and what it can do, and part of all of this indicates laboratory is because I followed your advice, and look at what I've learned. You know, and now I can do this. You know, ding. So, yes, you were right. It is a phenomenal sword, and Fontes is content for me to wield it for the time being.
Yeah, but it was, you see, it's about the return of the king, you see, the sleeping king under the mountain. When the people are in the most dire need, that is when the true liege will return to protect them and save them, you see. And you, if the true liege is sleeping, you see, asleep all this time, when there is a dire need, the true liege will awaken to return to save the people. And I don't know how else to say this, but you are now awake, you see. All this time you've been sleeping, not realizing who you were. But now you know, and
do you find Avalon in a time of dire need?
And he just looks over to Scythe.
I went there because he asked me to look in on it. It was bad, Ladine. It was bad. There's this horrible tyrant named Owain Mob Urian, and he's depredated the whole land, and there's isolated pockets of resistance here and there, but they are being crushed. And frankly, they're doomed if they don't get some help really soon.
You went to Avalon?
I asked Scythe to do so.
All right. And found a tyrant oppressing the people.
Yes.
All right. On a scale of Celix to Ashen Twilight, how bad is this really?
Well, nowhere near Ashen Twilight, but definitely way worse than Celix. This is like go in with an army bad.
Ladine looks between Scythe and Myrthine here. And she's still holding the dagger with the gem in it and the pepper rock. Uh she kind of like brings her hand down to her side and the dagger grows to its full like long sword. Um and she just says she scoffs loudly and just I am an army. And kind of remembering where she is and what she's doing, she goes, but we have just because it's personal does not mean it is the same as being important. I've made promises. I have obligations. I promised Cora I'd help her with the Ashen Twilight, and we still don't know about uh, Naida and whatever she may be up to. We have other concerns. Do you? Hmm? Yes.
Quite frankly, the Ashen Twilight needs time to grow, and if we do too much and we mess with it too much, it might harm itself. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, whatever you need, I'm happy to help. I am not as necessarily skilled as she was, but I can help in some ways.
Luddy softens appreciably and just, dear, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that you don't feel you're ready to do. And
No, I would like to get out. I mean, it's been a very long time, and I've been trying to limit it to places that I absolutely have to go. But this seems like a place I absolutely have to go.
it, it will be dangerous.
I'm aware. I do have some training. I did some martial training before everything. I might be a little out of practice, but and I am still a Umbra master. I just use it a little bit differently. Um, all this to say, I still use Kronos. I just maybe a little bit differently than she did.
All right. All right, as you wish. Mm, just looks around at all of you like, are you sure you want to do this?
When Corey said that thing, like Meridian had like a little one of his little light bulb moments. Well, not really, more like a lamp moment, a torchlight moment, and he just sort of like looks between Dorian and Corey, and then Dorian and Corey, and then Dorian and Corey, like regarding them for a moment, like something that Corey said just like pinged him, and he just kind of looks at both of you with this like scientist sort of brain is like going off between the two of you, not like oh, I wonder if they're dating. It's not that one because that's way less scientist, but something about the ways in which Powers is working. Like he was like he had a bit of a he clearly had a bit of a light bulb moment. And again, he telegraphs everything all the time. Unless he's not thinking about it, but this thought sort of hit him about the two of you, and it's an obvious thing that he just had a realization.
There's light bulbs in this room. If you would like one to go off over your head.
Yeah.
Because he just like, oh, like he again, he doesn't say anything because there's a conversation that's not about this going on, but it's like very obvious that he just had some kind of insight. Just yeah.
And I guess, well, if you're if you're all convinced, And you see this going off in Ladine's head. There are very few times where she actually cares to stall. Like most things she's to the point, and if she's slow on something, it's like on the uptake where she genuinely doesn't get it. But she's stalling and you can see it because it's so rare. And you can tell that she's like trying to find like the loophole to get out of it and like but there's this conflict between she genuinely would not let the people of her homeworld suffer. And everything that Merdine said, like, he's been right up until this point. So, it sounds a little bit fantastical, but he's been right. Um, and so, like, she doesn't wanna. She's avoided that place for centuries. She doesn't wanna. But she also can't. She can't justify not doing it. So,
Dame Laudine, there's a reason why it is only just now that you have accepted the truth. That acceptance is being awoken, you see, which means you are fulfilling the prophecy. You have awoken from your sleeping.
well, perhaps I've simply stopped running away.
Yeah.
It it takes a certain amount of willful, intentional ignorance to not even ask in over 4 centuries what had become of Babylon.
Yeah.
I
If you'd asked, then the prophecy wouldn't work, would it? It's not your fault. It's how prophecies work.
but it is. If I had asked sooner, then perhaps they wouldn't be in this mess.
Oh, speaking of prophecies, right. Those prophecies definitely are still in that world and like compounded. So like when you and Merdine come back, they are going to freak out and it's going to be a really big deal. So do with that whatever your strategy requires.
As in, we will be attacked on sight?
By the
Or-
enemy. But it's just as likely you're going to rally the faithful, if you will.
Faithful?
Like I said, there are pockets of resistance. They're still out there.
This sounds like fun.
I like the new you.
This sounds precarious. So, not only is there a chance that we would be instantly recognized by both potential allies and potential enemies, but the people would have expectations.
I'd say that's fair. Fair to say, yeah.
It's how prophecies work, you see. Expectations, and it's,
Right, yes. So,
But they will like you for who you are, and you needn't worry. And you're a wonderful person. And quite frankly, if the way you take care of us, I doubt it would be very different than the way you would take care of them were you in that position.
oh dear. Quite.
I know what would make you feel better. And she just gets out this little tray of goodies. There's like little crown tarts, and there are like little we're going to war cookies and
War cookies.
War cookies.
war cookies have ginger. Just a note. There's ginger in war cookies.
I think it's a rule.
A little nutmeg.
That actually sounds really good. Yes.
While this is, I actually would like to draw aside the side while this is going on, and
Yes,
quietly ask her something.
sure.
Yeah. I don't suppose while you were there, I don't suppose by any chance while you were there, you didn't notice that there weren't any other interesting prophecies that we might make use of by any chance.
Oh, I see. You know what? That's an interesting strategy, and I think we should pursue it.
I will say one thing.
Are you going to Betty Gesserit this?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I will say for a fun bit,
Literally what I was typing.
there's also a prophecy that Merlin would be asleep in an oak tree, so that the home that he lives in his realm is a massive oak tree house, right? Is where he sleeps.
Oh my God, are we the Knights of the Round Table?
Yes.
Maybe.
Guys. you come to Ladin and be like, go being King Arthur, and you don't. Come on. Yes.
Is that like Dorian Lancelot? I don't know. We have to please go on. Is this questions? Oh.
Okay. So, kind of out of character because Ladin wouldn't think to ask this, but I'm very curious. From Side's explorations in Avalon, did she see a drastic change in either technology level or magic use between Avalon and Albion, which is Ladin's personal domain?
Yes to both.
So, did I? Well, shoot. I would have led with that. No, just kidding.
Sorry about that. I should have mentioned that in the stuff I sent you, and I apologize for not saying that.
It's okay.
So I'll tell you quickly now. Yes.
And I think that Merthin would just say, as a way into this, right, as a way to bring it up, he would just say, Dean, I asked Scythe to go there because I know that a good general needs intelligence, and I don't know better gatherer of intelligence than Scythe. So, also Dorian, actually. They both seem to be at a foot race between who can gather the most intelligence, but I was, and he kind of just looks to Scythe. And those two are with each other, like in cahoots at the moment in a side conversation. So he
We are. Oh my gosh.
he spotlights you two as you two are having it.
To each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can go over the defenses with you that I saw, but so Game Master, just talk for me about the technology level real quick.
Have they gotten to plate mail?
They were already at plate mail.
That's where Ladin got hers.
I know. Better plate mail?
No, it's all Camelot 3000 up in there.
I don't get that reference.
Okay, so it was a comic book that basically was what they did was they told the story of Arthur rising, doing the same thing. It was Arthur coming back to help Avalon in its time of need. And when they did that, what they did was they just literally put it into the future. So there's like laser guns, and I forget, like Galahad was a samurai or something. It was one of those. And
seriously, are there laser guns?
Yeah. And actually, there are not actually. It's no.
Okay.
I don't know. Do we want laser guns?
They're alien invaders. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So it's like it's super future sci-fi.
So I will say
like
this.
Krull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like Krull. Ooh, and there we go. There's our touchstone.
Yeah.
It's more Krull.
Okay.
So what we can do, and I will, because it sounds like you're going there pretty soon. So I will prepare for this. But again, because Avalon is both like Ladin and Merthin's, let me know if there's anything you would definitely like or definitely not like. But yeah, tech level has in fact increased, and there's more magic.
Can I request a 1970s Vangelis score?
Sure.
For
Yes, please.
So, Scythe, one of the other things that you noticed is that Owain's realm is heavily reinforced. Not realm, reign. Owain's reign is heavily reinforced by magic.
Ah, lots of magic and lots of tech then,
Yeah.
huh? Interesting.
Not
Well,
something you're familiar with, as I recall.
yeah, that's true. Kind of suspiciously familiar with it.
Thing I didn't go, just to take a look-see.
We should definitely find out if he has some off-world allies helping him.
So what I will do between now and the next time we play is I will give definitely Scythe and Dorian, because I suspect both of you are going to be poking at this from different angles, and let me know what you're doing. I will give both of you information. Just ask questions about it, and I'll give you what information you're looking at. Anyone else that is doing anything, let me know, and I will also fill you in on that between now. And are we playing next week, or are we taking a week off? I can't remember.
That's a good question.
I'm free.
There's this holiday that people like to celebrate.
Oh, shoot. That is next week.
What?
Personally, I'm free to play on Easter.
I'm free, but yeah.
I didn't think about that. But if people are busy that evening, that's fine.
Well, so if I do every other week starting from right now, then it will completely miss my spring convention schedule.
Oh, perfect.
But if we reschedule, then I'll have to duck and dodge.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could just do
if we know what the
week.
dates are, we can try to just sort of work around that and then
Sure.
just figure out what the time. I imagine if folks are good with this, just sort of figure out the
and we could do that offline.
The
we don't have to
dates
discuss
are,
it
and then
here.
whether that's every other week or like 2 weeks, skip a week,
right,
that kind of thing. We can maybe figure that out.
Right.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm definitely available next Sunday if we want to do it that way. But we'll figure that out. But anyway, between now and whenever we play next, we'll keep in touch on Discord, I reckon, and just give me whatever questions you have. And if you want to do it in our actual team chat, that's fine. Or if there's anything you want individually, however you want to work it, let me know.
By the way, I think that Merdine would just say, because we talk about prophecy, would just say, by the way, I don't mean to, it's just, don't you think that perhaps there's probably some sort of prophecy linking you two, pointing to Dorian and also Corey? Don't you think it would make sense?
What, in Avalon?
No. Somewhere else, or cosmically. I mean, if you think about it.
Well, given the number of worlds, my dear chap, I'm sure that there are prophecies. You can find a prophecy that tells you anything you like.
No. I mean actual prophecies, not false prophecies, like real ones. Look, you are.
Good thing they're so easy to tell apart.
Well, yes, obviously. Now,
right.
You are Eidolon, are you not?
I am not Eidolon so much as I understand how to make use of it.
No. You are Eidolon and you, Corey, are Umbra. Are you both not, yes?
Yes.
I am not a creature of the Eidolon.
Please listen to what I'm saying. You both have gone through transformations, you see.
Please listen to what I'm saying, my dear friend.
I think you're missing my point. You both went through transformations and are attached to a form of being that is not within your nature, and then you both use it in a way unlike those who are resonant with it would do so. And it was not the case with Atropos, but now that we have Corey is not Umbra in the way that Umbra people are Umbra. And you are not Eidolon in the way that Eidolon people are Eidolon. You both are an anomaly. You are now mirrors of each other, creating a new way of interfacing with these things, unlike the way they have been done before. And they're now both of you together in this, you see, what does it mean to not be Eidolon but Eidolon, and not be Umbra but be Umbra? To reverse the humors of these beings, you see? And that you're now paired together, and you have always had such a close relationship, you two, and you have now both. You've now completed a circle. You see? You see?
My dear fellow,
Mm.
I see I see the pattern you're drawing. It's a lovely pattern. It's very interesting. It's actually quite interesting. But I think we also should be careful not to draw patterns simply because we wish them into existence. That's all I'm saying.
Mm. Mm.
I'm very confused at what is going on. If I'm,
And
I,
Dorian is going. Anyone who has a degree of emotional intelligence will in this situation, as Dorian is speaking, will grasp, or I should say, actually, I shouldn't even say emotional intelligence. It'll take probably a little bit more. I'm probably not even playing it well. I'm probably playing it too open here. But it's this
It's about trauma.
anyone who's kind of looking.
Yeah.
Who's actually got a lot of emotional intelligence, probably, or we can kind of tell something is wrong when on Dorian's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so what he's going to say to Corey is say, is he'll, but that'll sort of shift as he turns to Corey, back to Corey. Oh. It's probably it's an interesting sort of question as to whether or not one is destined to be in a place or whether one just simply chooses to be in a place. It's sort of just a fascinating intellectual thing, I think, just to sort of ask about should one be interested. But I think the real question is just you want to do you want to be with us doing this? Is that?
oh, yes, I do want to help and get to know you all better. And
Well, I should very
hopefully,
much like that as well, and I think we're all in
yes,
agreement on that one.
and quite funnily, Martine, it makes me think. I don't remember everything about the day everything happened, but I do remember my grandmother was upset I grabbed the wrong book. Maybe that has something to do with it. And she says it so flippantly, offhand, that she doesn't even realize the words that she says.
Oh.
And Merdine
But
is still studying you two, right? Like, because he's got this weird idea in his mind. And he's like, yes, maybe, yes, maybe.
I don't know, but I'm happy to be here, and choice is new. So I'm choosing to be. I don't really understand what all that means, but I'm glad I get to go places now. So
Yes.
I know the feeling. Glad to have you with us.
you were trapped on a world for thousands of years?
Oh, just in a family for what seemed like thousands of years.
Oh, got it.
Do not date my sister.
What? Oh, I hadn't even been thinking of it. Oh.
Never mind. He's dating me. I just know it.
Dorian's just going to immediately, and his face changes again, kind of, as that he's just sort of will turn, his head will snap toward you, and he'll just sort of smile and wink.
Alchemy.
All right. I think this is a good place to wrap up. So just as I understand, the next thing we're doing is heading to Avalon with maybe a little prep, but I think we're talking about it. Unless we can talk about it later, but yes.
Prep first, please.
Prep first, and Dorian's actually going to want to take perhaps even a little more time than we're thinking.
Okay, so we're not going to jump straight into Avalon at the beginning of the session, but we will talk about it between now and then we will have pre-Avalon stuff, which is good. Okay, I'm with you on that. In that case, yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap up. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you.
Yay!
Oh,
Awesome. It's so good to be back.
Yep.
I just want to say, this is great. We're gonna go ahead then and do our outros. We're gonna Ground. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you had about this session, any favorite moments or what have you would like to talk about or give love about. And once again, as we go in reverse order, as is our wont, we begin once again with our GM, Brian.
Hello. Once again, I'm Brian Cooksey, and I am VacLam on mostly Blue Sky these days. And okay, a couple of things. First off, as I was preparing for this, I was worried because the first campaign was so good. I was worried that I would not be able to come up with anything for people to do. And then I asked like one question and all of you gave me 5 campaigns worth of stuff. So I don't know why I was worried. What was I thinking? Everything's great. And I feel like we're off to a good start. My 2 favorite things about this one though were the 3 different kinds of awkward conversations in Ashen Twilight between Corey and Merdine, and then Merdine and Scythe. All of you were just and also Lundine with I Am an Army. That was great. Oh. So those were my favorites, and everything else was great, but those were the 2 things that jumped out for me. And again, thanks so much for playing. Thanks for coming back. I'm so glad to be with all of you, and I'm glad to be in this world and with these characters. And I love seeing how the relationships are growing and changing, and it's just continuing to be so much fun. And I would do this once a week if we could forever. So, that is it. I will quit talking now. Thanks again.
Oh, same. That's so good. And now we will head over to Trooper.
I'm TrooperSJP. Woo! Today's Sunday. For RPGs, you can find me on Wednesdays at, should be 2:30 now, over at Lap Lavini's channel every other Wednesday, but there's a show every Wednesday where I'm a Viking in medieval Call of Cthulhu, medieval Viking Call of Cthulhu. You can hang out there. You can then find me on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel, TrooperSJP, for my Traveler campaign that I'm running. And then you can find me especially on Sundays here and now, where our little weird mystic Merdine needs to sort of figure out about transformations and alchemy. Because clearly there's something happening, and he wants to know what it is. Botany. And I want to give love. I want to give love to repressed subtlety, subtlety and repression. Oh my goodness. Each person here has just given us such a wonderful masterclass of being repressed in your feelings and showing it to everyone else without saying it, right? I just love the ways in which you're like, okay, my character is like stone-faced, but this is what's going on. Or you get to see it and to see just the ways in which, Corey is like, I want to make friends and I don't quite, this is awkward, right? And then the kind of pain that you have with Dorian, who was tortured, you know what I mean, for quite some time. And how he's not dealing, how each one of us is dealing and not dealing with various things and how we try, right? And the ways in which each one of us has been avoiding things, right? Has been avoiding things in many, many ways, avoiding conversations, avoiding facing things, and how each of my fellow players showed that in these amazing ways. From Scythe being like, I'm going to help everybody else's problems, so I cannot think about my own. Also, don't date my sister, right? Also, my liege, I will always be there for my liege. But just at the little moment, we're like, hey, Merdine is now a knight, which means Merdine is no longer, is now more independent. And then how do you deal with that, right? That kind of loss. We're all dealing with these kind of little losses that I think are not that little. And everyone's dealt with them in such brilliant ways that are so moving and make me want to get all emotional myself. I love playing with this group. That's all. That's me.
Yay! Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we will head over to Melissa.
Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Gay. I was playing Scythe this evening, and you guys are such incredible role players. It is always a delight. Yes, +1 on the repressed, deeply felt emotions just burbling below the surface, and how we are all dealing and not dealing and being forced to deal with our issues through dealing with other people's issues in many ways. So I'm really looking forward to this fresh campaign, and I love you guys. It's so awesome. You can find me on the web at Blue Sky. I'm Melissa Gay with 3 Ys. And you can find me on Facebook at melissa.gay.art. You can find me at melissagay.com, my art website. And in person, you can find me at Jordan Con, upcoming in April, and Con Carolinas in May. Yay!
Oh, awesome, awesome. That's in my neck of the woods. Very cool, very cool. Awesome. Excellent, excellent. And now we will head over to Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing Corey this evening. What once was Atropos. Who knows? Atropos might still be out there. We don't know. But where you can find me online at the Nerd on Wheels, everywhere on social media. The things I loved most. I'm so excited to be back with this group. This game is such a joy. I'm so glad we were able to find a time and get together again, because all these characters are just fantastic. I really, really liked how, because there was such a huge finale of how everyone is dealing with the emotional trauma. Like it was traumatic, like what all happened, what they experienced. Not only that, but now all of their internal issues, just like what Trooper was saying, are now bubbling to the surface. And I really like how everyone has like shown that through their characters. And it's just, the character work is just top notch. I am such fans of everyone at the table, and it's so fun to be able to play together again. And I'm so excited to see what's to come out. So excited for more, I think, is my biggest thing, other than what other people have mentioned, which A+. You can find me coming up Tuesdays over on Stat Monkey Presents for Rotted Tropics, a Rotted Cape Second Bite game. The Kickstarter is out for this new superhero zombie RPG, where we are all superheroes in the wake of a zombie apocalypse, trying to survive in the Florida Keys. There are things in the water. There are times of night where the hush happens, where there's no sound, everything is still, and apparently there are creepy tentacle monsters that are causing it that we don't know why. But if you want to see the outcome of that, you can tune in on Tuesday nights over on Twitch or YouTube. You can also find me running my first ever actual play campaign over on Nerds with Dice. I am getting ready this Thursday to start up a new campaign of Vesson, the Morrigan Society, set in the Mythic Ireland setting, late 19th century Ireland. Revolution is budding, and at this time, the overarching society that helps mediate problems between Vesson, mythological creatures, and people. Ireland is technically looked after by Britain, and that is something that they do not want anymore. So tune in to see the first reestablishment of what was the Morrigan Society and all that entails. This Saturday, you can find me for the season premiere week, apparently, because season premiere of The Walking Dead over on Nerds with Dice, Fields of the Dead, which is a zombie apocalypse set in the Walking Dead universe. All of us are trying to survive in the Midwest. Last season, my wife was murdered, and I got to figure out who did it. So our party is in shambles. There's a weird cult going on, and we got to figure out what's going on. So tune in on Saturday for that season 2 premiere. And that's all I got.
Yay! That is awesome. That is awesome. I highly recommend folks check that out. And finally, over to Noctua.
Right. So I'll start with gushing about highlights first, because oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Love this table. So yes, +2 for repression and emotional fallout. But I really must commend the role play and just like the acting chops that you all bring. Star for Mary, because the difference in body language between Atropos and Kore is just phenomenal. Like you can just the way you present and like the pitch of the voice, it's just oh, it's so good. Uh, so yeah, I love that. And I really like how we get to see different aspects of the characters in season 2. Like for Merdine, the slightly new independence really has him contemplating his own powers. And so he's thinking about them a little bit more and like farther reaching consequences. Uh, and Dorian is also like expanding uh, both his network and his influence that way. So while he still has like the social facade going on, there's a lot more happening beneath. And like that's taken prevalence. Kore is almost a whole new person. We're not sure. Kind of. There might be Atropos in there. Uh, and yeah. Scythe, I feel like we saw a lot of the golden heart beneath the rogue in season 1. And here we're seeing a little bit more of all the unresolved emotional trauma that you didn't really deal with. Like we knew it was there, but no, there were no answers. So we're seeing a lot more of that here. And of course, oh, what do I say about Laudine? Like she, I hope to try and build her in season 1 as like she knows what she's doing. Like she's steadfast and she will try to make the best choice she can in every situation. And you guys found like the one big crack in her armor, which is her backstory, and you're like, oh, what happens if I poke this? Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna get interesting, folks. I love this. This is all amazing. Yeah, I'm really excited
Yay.
for this. Okay. In other news, I'm Noctua Magna. You will actually find me on Blue Sky at Noctua Magna. And for the very first time ever, I'm playing in 2 games at the same time. So you will find me back here on Tuesdays for Draw Steel, which is new system that I haven't played before, but it's going to be lots of fun. I am playing a completely different character. Yeah, that's me.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. Excellent. Excellent. And that leaves me. Who the hell am I? That's the question tonight, isn't it? Well, at the moment, I'm Jim Ryan. I just have to say this has been so good. I have craved this game so badly. So I thank you for providing. So I'd like to thank you all for providing me with my drugs. That's very kind of you. I just wanted to say that Brian, thank you so much for being very flexible.
Oh yeah.
Being able to run with all the things simultaneously. It is. I do not envy you the Herculean effort. For I know what kind of thing this is. This kind of can of worms that continues to just basically spawn additional cans of worms.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Which is, it's job security.
It is. It really is. It's a great way to look at it. I liked there's so much that I liked about this today. Just the thing with just the way that I'm getting to interact with Scythe now. There's sort of now this I'll have my spy call your spy thing going on now that is delightful. I I loved it also with Ladine, the I am an army moment, and just the fact that she's sort of digging in and dissecting the stones, and that you're interested in character change, which is very cool. I think we're all interested in character change, but just to see it specifically highlighted the way your character is doing it is fascinating to me. And I think that's going to be very interesting. I was not expecting the jelly mastery to begin. So that is very interesting. There's this thing with Atropos with Corey now, as we have Corey with us. Just the way, Mary, in which you are presenting this character, that we got to see with her just giving the dragon treats. There is this interesting thing, the way in which you're playing Corey, where there's this, you present us with this delightful conundrum for our characters anyway, where it's like that there's this instant sort of, you have to be able to, you must be allowed to develop your own sense of self and do things. This is a new person who must be able to go out and experience things. But the whole demeanor always brings this soul feeling of God must protect. So it's just to be able to incite that in us is delightful. And I just, Trooper, I have noticed that we've developed this interesting thing that delights me, as well as that when our characters sometimes poke at each other. Basically, we've done the last couple of games we've played. We've had these moments where we just sort of just do this thing, and so that was exhilarating actually near the end recently. And I hope I did not. I hope we're good. We're okay.
I'm having a good time, and of course, I think it's hilarious that Mirthine does not realize that he's poked at you exactly. He's like, "Oh wait, you've both gone through an alchemical transformation, and he's like, you're hitting my trauma right now." And of course, Mirthine.
Well, and that's the thing is that you're making Dorian think is in the back of his head. He's like, "Fuck, am I an Eidolon? Am I the fucking Eidolon? This is not good." And so it's there's so much that just sort of brings on, and the fact that that Merdine was standing his ground with that, I thought was really cool. And just the as we were sort of like going back and forth with it.
Yeah,
it is supposed to be. I think I overplayed this a little bit, but it's so hard to get a rise out of Dorian. In that way. So it's just, I thought it was
brilliant.
Yeah, it just kind of caught him off guard, and so now there's so much to think about now.
Right, and of course, the funny thing is that Merdine wanted to say that he wanted to acknowledge that this was not something you chose, because that was the point, right? The fact that both Corey and Dorian did not choose these things, right? That it was forced upon me. He's like, that's the parallel, right? There it is, right? And it was that, and I'm going to blame Mary for this, because Mary was like, she uses Umbra, but not in the way that you would imagine. She uses Umbra in a very Eidolon way, and you had said last season that he uses Eidolon in a very Umbra way, and that was, and then it just hit, and it was like, well, there it is. There's the connection, right? Yeah. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, no, that is fascinating, actually. So yeah, very interested to see what happened. But we said it in front of Brian, and so now it might become a thing. He's listening. He's always listening. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So yes, I can't wait to continue this because this is so good. This is so good. I just love playing with you folks. But that aside, you can find me here. I am OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Wherever I'm not OtherDoc, I am Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts and whatnot. and various other things, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and what have you. Yes, as intimated, in just a few weeks, we've got some session zero stuff that we're going to be doing off stream. But in just a few weeks, on Tuesday nights, we're going to have Draw Steel, a short campaign run by Levi. Yes, Noctua will be in that, and I'm very excited to play that with you. I'm really liking the cast that we have for this, and I just want to see what happens. It's primarily tactical. This is way more of a tactical game than I usually have on this channel. I have run Savage Worlds and what have you, but it's been a while. So I'm interested to see how this goes, because there's so many systems I want to explore. Way too many for any one human to sanely explore. But we'll give it a try. So I'm very interested in seeing how that goes. So that's going to be on Tuesday nights, coming up in a couple of weeks or so. We'll be starting that short campaign. Aside from that, that's all I've got going on immediately right now. There is a thing hopefully we'll be getting next month. We'll be getting which next month is happening shortly. But I'm still waiting to see if we come back on Thursday nights over on High Shelf Collective. His Majesty the Worm. That's been an excellent campaign. I'm hoping we get back to soon. We'll see. Real life is happening, so we'll see if we can get back to that or not. And aside from that, that's most of what I have going on right now. I will go, since it's a premiere, I'll go ahead and shill just a little bit. I am the author of 1 Year Hence, so if you're interested in storytelling games oh, look, it popped up twice. Storytelling games and sort of nightly things and sort of Arthurian things. Feel free to check that out at oneyearhence.com if you're so inclined. If you like games of that nature. Well, this has been great. When we hit the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to somebody. There are several people. There are a few people that are still streaming that we might go and say hi to. Prax is one of those. I'm just checking to see. I don't know. They've been streaming a while. I don't know how much longer they're going to be up, but we'll see. Might stream. Might raid there. If not, Little Cup of Joe is just started, so maybe over there. We'll see. So feel free to hang on. Whoever we end up saying hi to. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That'll be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, as always, as real life often is garbage, please remember that if you're having a rough time, that you are unique, and that is wonderful, because variety is very important, especially right now. You matter. So please remember to take care of yourselves, and remember you can absolutely give yourselves grace when you need to. But in the meantime, folks, take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.